in the intense matchups happening here at MSC. You see how, despite those being 3-0s, the dedication and the emotional toll it takes on these teams to actually perform at this level.
I may not be the best in the world, but I am the best for my team. That was what Chama said in the Insider video. And man, I think we were all impressed with that quote. It shows just how humble, down to earth, but confident he is.
Yep, and here, it's that mindset that's going to take them through, hopefully getting far on their burning quest. The next M4 Revenge, gonna take another check off of Burn X Flash's hit list. They want to get Blacklist International.
Burn X Flash victory against RSG, let's just face it, there are winners, there are losers. And right here, their quest to be the winners against Blacklist International is undoubtedly a difficult one. And to get through this hurdle, to get themselves into the next seed, or rather get themselves to the next bracket, that is what we want to see, and who's going to be the one to solve.
Is going to come off of their pivot points. The heart of their teams, Chama for Burn X Flash and Wise for Blacks International in the jungle.
My goodness. If you're talking about like the performance of Blacklist in the knockout stages, and even if you include group stages, they have not been beaten like very badly, you know? If you're looking at Wise, particularly in his performance, look at the blue shape that you're seeing, the blue radar
Big
charts.
yikes.
It was so massive, but that is Wise though. That is how Wise plays. He plays perfectly. He knows what he needs to do. It's always like he's looking for the best play possible. While for Chama, like you can see from the side of Burn X Flash, they try to go for some kind of risky plays. The way that he plays the Lancelot, they want to be aggressive as compared to Wise, who wants to really farm it out, get the Lord. Nobody has yet to take the Lord or the Turtle away from Wise. Chama is going to be on the opposite end where you want to go for those 50-50 plays, but it is almost always rewarding for Burn X Flash.
But just the same, this hero pool that Chama is flexing, Wise can just the same play these heroes. It's no secret that Wise has picked up the tanks a lot in MPL Philippines Season 11. So can we say that it's like they're looking at a mirror?
Kinda. You can kind of say that. Whoa. Anyways, for Wise, I feel like he's just been so comfortable. He's been just pounding through every single one of their opponents that he doesn't really need to take anything out. He's been playing with Fredrin, and it's never been banned. I don't know why it's never been banned. I think Fimp tried to actually ban it once in the third game of the series. Then finally we saw Wise into another pick, but I think I can quote Diablo on this. If they don't ban my comfort heroes, why should I change?
Wise is not going to be bothered about losing comfort heroes. Yes, he has played Fredrin many times in MPLPH, and in MSC, we have seen that he is very much capable of playing in another way and another style, in which case, he's not as tanky, he's not as beefy, but he plays as a Valentina and still steered his team to victory. As we look at the players head-to-head, we have a very good idea that, that Wise, he's still pretty much up for blood.
Yeah. Well, look at this, him being closer to Wise when it comes to Lord kills per game. That's a positive, it's actually even more, you know. But yeah, but then again, Blacklist International ends the game much faster than Burn X Flash. But that's actually good stat to kind of piggyback off of. If you are Burn X Flash, it kind of means that yes, Chima, given the point, even under the pressure, yes, he can take away Lords from his opponents.
And I think that's one strength that Burn has over Blacklist right now, is the fact that they're willing to play for any one player at any given time. If D7 finds a play, let's go. If it's Chima who finds a play, let's go. Donut, forget about it. We're always there for him.
Well, now it really comes down and begs the question, right? Do the teams in Burn X Flash want to play something a little bit different, considering the fact that now they're fighting against Blacklist International, which is super strong in the Ube. They are always having that super front line, and they're doing so darn well.
I think it's gonna come down to what the coaches have to say, right? Coach Mitch, Coach Master the Basics. It comes down to them, but wait. Mirko, what's going on?
What's going on, Mirko?
Honestly, I set my prediction out, but I think production wants to say, no, Mirko, stay out of this. Don't. Stay out of this. Let it play out. Don't curse anyone.
They didn't even ask you.
They didn't even ask me, no.
Wow. Well, no, I understand why me and Leo actually voted for Blacklist. Abstract also voted for Blacklist. I'm just really happy that there's no divide between the cage talents. So it's crazy because if you don't know, for all the viewers out there, our desk is just on the opposite end of the stadium.
It's about a few meters away.
A few meters away, so it's gonna be some heat, of course, afterwards.
Yep.
Be careful not to burn.
Be careful not to burn.
Yeah,
I think they are scalding hot, right? They are burning water. And we have seen exactly how they managed to extinguish the fire from the opposite end before. And I'm pretty sure that they will be able to do the exact same thing against Blacklist International. And this is going to be a tight one. This is going to be a tough one. I understand where the Cambodian casters are coming from. But X Flash, they are superstars, this MSC.
And the reason why is because they've grown out of that shell. If you watch MPLKH, their grand finals, that alone is not enough to explain how much Burn X Flash has grown right before our very eyes in the past week that has come. In the past group stage, in the way that they played in the knockout stage, it's a whole new Burn X Flash. So now with that being said, we're about to get into the draft here. If I'm not mistaken, a coin toss was gone up, and that will dictate who chooses which side to go into. If I'm not wrong, blue side has been winning a lot more in the knockout stage, so let's see who goes where.
You're right. First pick has a better win rate so far. Now, that's a question that I actually want to throw over to Wolf. Why? Why is first pick so good right now, but Burn X Flash taking away the Fredgen already, taking away the Psycho Fredgen, and 3 of Venus's picks.
So at least they understood and they have identified the fact that Fredrin is definitely the big hero that Blacklist International has been working with so far. And even they themselves are targeting the bans down onto Oh My Venus.
I think that along the way, the Varia, there you go, the Varia should be picked up here by a Blacklist International. Probably an answer, maybe, the Valentina. This means that Valentina is, oh, okay, it's still a flex, by the way. Because I'm pretty sure Oh My Venus can play the Novaria. It can be played in position 5. Valentina is in their position 4 or a jungle. This is still pretty open. Burn X Flash, do they just go back to something like a Claude in this part of your game?
I think it's still a little bit uncharacteristic. See Oh My Venus playing onto the Novaria. I still feel that the possibility of looking at Wise picking the Valentina is a lot higher. But I thought maybe this could be detected by Burn X Flash. If whether it's too early for them to pick out the Valentina, but yet it's still so meta.
Joy and Eve. That's quite bold coming out from Burn X Flash, especially because of the fact that the Eve can be easily copied, as well as the Joy. Both heroes Valentina loves to play against. But this means that Blacklist International will have to find a way to lock down the Joy for sure. Maybe somewhere along the lines of a Franco, but they usually don't pick that up.
The Kaj is open.
The Kaja too.
Last time we saw the Kaja, though, from Venus, it was at ISF, and it didn't work too well for Blacklist International. So maybe they might just go back to the norm. Minotaur is still up for grabs, but it will limit these 2 flex picks. So they go for the Arlet instead, just making Burn think a bit more in that second phase.
I would also like to kind of like draw it backwards to the ban side, right? Blacklist International normally really like to ban their Franco as well as the Kaja, but they really found a need to ban out the heroes on the side of
Good respect.
Big respect.
Probably an Italian Franco. There's gonna be the Meteor, another, hack of Venus strategy.
Lolita next. It has to be Lolita next.
It has to.
Yep, and then they're gonna force Oh My Venus into a hero that is not proven yet to work in the Novaria Rome, or even to an old Clotilda.
But the Kaja's still open. I think the Franco is in the Franco ban is incoming for Blacklist International. D7 has been phenomenally good at the hero. And I think that there's also that factor where Burn X Flash can consider banning out something like a Melissa, or maybe Blacklist International actually picks that up.
I really want to see whether Burn X Flash is going to go all the way to the bans, right? Or rather, all the way on Oh My Venus's ban. Because, I mean, there's still Florin, there's still Matilda.
Yeah. I think it might be a sign as to where Novaria is going to go right now. It's actually not going to be the Lolita either. It's going to be the Claude pick, or the Claude ban, which is quite interesting. Maybe Burn X Flash is saying, go pick up the Beatrix, we'll pick up the Lolita. We'll deny it away from you.
I think that they want to go for Beatrix here for Blacklist International. The other option is, like I said, the Melissa, which will not be which will not face that much problems when facing up against the Joy. But then again, the Beatrix might be the perfect choice because it's an Owl special, and that they do have the Novaria to couple up with it. So you have that extra hitbox, extra vision, sniper, as well as the Astral Sphere deals a lot of damage.
Lolita pick from Burn should be.
It should be. At this point in time, it pretty much works for Burn X
Yeah.
Flash. They need to really just come up together with the Fredrin, and depends on how they want to go around, right?
Yeah.
The frontliners, the one that sets up,
Yeah.
and we have seen before that Burn X Flash can definitely pull off big ultimates and great initiations.
Yeah.
So looking at how Blacklist International always go for Ube, they are always gathering together, trying to look for all these lane priorities. I think the Burn X Flash should be able to adapt well enough,
Yeah.
picking up the Lolita.
Burn has no gold lane yet. We don't know. We don't know.
I think I'll not be surprised if it is as Leslie, for example, for Burn X Flash. It's a donut special.
It is a donut special.
It
I can see it work really well up against the Beatrix in this gold lane
And Lolita,
matchup.
perhaps, or Lolita or Frank are the only two options.
Frank was banned.
Banned.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
The Beatrix, Lolita, and
Brody.
There you go. So Brody, yeah. Again, what I was gonna say is again the Leslie here does good up against the Beatrix, but the thing is with the Arlet and also the Varia, they're very immobile. You can get sniped down from.
Medina and Wise on the Akai in the jungle. Gentlemen, this is what the world thinks.
Ooh.
And yeah, even Cambodians are split up. That's what, 30% over to Burn X Flash, while the rest of the world think it's Blacklist International. How do we feel about the draft? Because it looks like it's a brand new flavor of Ube. That this is Ube with so much more coverage.
Yeah, I think that they do have a lot of their area of responsibility is way larger than the typical Ube.
Let's get into the game here, gentlemen.
And with that all said and done, heading into the land of dawn for today's very first game, Burn X Flash versus Blacklist International.
Always have to watch out for the early game, the turtle fight, I mean, for Blacklist International. They're very good at it. And now they have the Akai versus Fredrin, knowing for sure that the Akai was designed to counter this Fredrin in the jungle just because of that heavy spin factor that you can win the turtle fights.
Now, of course, when I'm looking at Novaria, something that we haven't, or rather I myself haven't really quite seen happen, that is one thing that I am relatively surprised.
It's a nice try there by ATM, trying to go for a very early invade. Cheesy. Wise does have that retribution, but I do want to bring up something here. Edward on the Unbending Will. We don't really see a lot of tenacity now at MSC, mostly going for Unbending Will.
That's right. That's the Edward special. He likes it a lot because he wants to outplay upon his killer kind of XP lane or an Arlet, and they need more damage. They can't just rely on the Beatrix this game.
I really like the small little fact that ATM decided to jump into the jungle and force Wise to take away that retribution.
A lot of damage placed down in that top side of the map. Wise already pressuring ATM as well, forcing him to recall, and it should just be ATM losing out on the full cannon minion XP in the XP lane. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, a little bit of a gank already. Yue forced to use the flicker right before the Lord spawns, coming up in 20 seconds.
I was about to say that ATM will have a great time this game just because of the fact that he's a Joy and he does not have any, Blacklist International doesn't have any lockdown to pin down this Joy. But then again, the focus was not let him play.
They're really going to focus, at least for Blacklist International, they're really focusing quite a lot onto the EXP lane, as we are pretty much going to be looking at Wise going in.
Oh, Chama is going to be pinned down by the heavy spin. A good first blood over to Blacklist International as they go for the first neutral objective, already converting onto that kill. D7, level 4, finally now. Will he choose to go for the contest? ATM's looking for it as well. Wise picks it up. No problem, no biggie. Retribution still up as well.
A standard day for Blacklist International is easily taking themselves their first turtle right off the bat. Despite the fact that Blacklist International have to force to use the retribution onto their own orange buff, and doesn't really quite happen. Hold a second.
Good dash out from you as super aware as the real world manipulation comes down as well to respond it over. That's Wise now, who has 2 kills on the board. Blacklist out mechanically. Outclassing Burn X Flash mechanically.
Oh, that was a great rotation coming up from Blacklist International up top. What they did was to put Wise on the aggressive move onto the L bush so that nobody from Burn X Flash will be able to check out. Because why would you check your own bush, right? You want to check the forward bushes like the Rock Orsa bush or this bush that ATM is holding and check out where Wise is. But then again, they were staying there to ambush Chama the fact that Chima was taken out before the turtle happened was already great for Blacklist. Now they're leading by 1,000 gold.
The entire team of Blacklist, they are trying to get themselves all across the map. When it comes down to the itemizations, it does seem like they want the 0.2,000 gold lead will help Blacklist International to push forward a little bit more and get themselves a little bit more lane priority. So far, the middle lanes from the side of Blacklist International has been moving super fast, especially since Valentina's wave control is not as good as Yi.
Oh, good final slash. ATM might be forced to use the Vengeance here early on. Edward wants to go for an all-in with a Vengeance one more time, but it just recalls and it gets the crowd going as he's able to escape.
Now that is going to be the mental game coming from Burn X Flash, right? They will want to put a mental in, but hold on a second, Wise.
Oh, Donut flickers into the heavy spin! A brilliant heavy spin by Wise as it's a double for the Queen.
And immediately right off the bat, 2 members down from the side of Burn X Flash, and the turtle will be appearing in 5 seconds. Burn X Flash doesn't really seem like they will be able to do much from this point in time. So what exactly do they have to do to come back from this game, or rather to just take that second turtle away from Blacklist International?
If you're paying attention to Blacklist International's games, they always fight before the turtle fight happens. 30 seconds before the turtle spawns, you already have to be on your toes and find the members of Blacklist because you know that they'll fight for sure.
Oh, that's the lockdown CC, but D7, oh, it's gonna be a Numenal Blast first by Yue! Canceling D7's Numenal Blast as Chima will fall. It's Blacklist International who take control of the neutral objective once more. D7 slowed down now. Venus is waiting for the snipe, but the heavy spin brings him back. The flicker from D7 to respond it over, but he's gonna be pinned down ultimately, and Wise picks up a killing spree in the 5th minute of the game.
And of course now with two turtles as well as for about 3,500 gold lead. Oh, Edward!
That's a stun. Donut with a total part memory, but Edward gets out a beautiful final slash flicker combo.
Just a sliver left. And one thing that we're gonna have to take note of is the fact that the gold laners has laner from the side of Blacklist International swapped lanes.
That goal lead for Owl.
That's huge.
Oh, this is...
Donut's not really having a very good time at all. What exactly is happening here?
I really don't know, but because of the fact that there's a lot of pressure that was put out by Wise. First, going up top and just really not minding the gold lane. But afterwards, after the first turtle, they put a lot of emphasis into that bottom lane. Donut, back-to-back deaths. Really unforgivable if you're Burn Express, especially in the Brody that really depends on the early game snowball for him to be successful in a game.
I thought surely Blacklist International might lose a little bit of a control on for Owl. Yes, we're looking at a Brody versus a Beatrix matchup, but Blacklist International, they are constantly moving around. They're constantly getting themselves in the top lane. We see that there are definitely attempts to try to bring Burn X Flash down. They are on a 7-kill lead. And despite all of the games that we have seen so far, Blacklist International, they may get good leads, but the goal disparity is just not that much. But this game is just different.
Orange buff as well was given over to Owl. So you can already see Blacklist International kind of shift their priority very early to give this Beatrix a bit of a better time already. Third turtle spawning back up. That's why you see Owl with the lane swap.
And now the turtle spawns up top. We do have the... Oh, hold on, Chima!
Pinned down, Bennett's Rage, and the real world manipulation, but Chima still able to escape right now as D7 pops into the Numenal Blast. No heavy spin to play with now as ATM goes into the back. Real world manipulation by Seacat to lock you down. Retreat battle, and it's gonna be Chima walks up. Donut takes it away. The crowd goes wild. The first win for Burn X Flash in this entire game.
And Burn X Flash, they managed to retreat, get themselves right out without a single casualty. That is definitely big for them. Blacklist International now, there is no more turtles to be inside. The next fight that they're gonna have to go for is going to be the Lord that will be appearing down in the bottom lane. Blacklist International, the laning phase is now over. Yeah. They're gonna have to move on with the rotation. They're gonna have to bring turrets down, but so far they haven't been exactly winning lanes in a proper way. They're just winning fights.
Massive recovery that was started by D7 being in the right position to go for that Numenal Blast. XP versus XP lane battle means that the only free lane, I'd say, for the side of Burn X Flash for now is ATM Stage. The XP laner's lane is because of the fact that he's a joy. But they will need more. Fortunately, they do have D7 who's picking up the slack when it comes to carrying the team on recovery mode.
We are looking at 3,800 gold. Burn X Flash just holding it down, but Shima and Seacat, they're trying to look for something.
Bit of a missed mechanic there from Edward, but the Numenal Blast from Yue. He will not commit anything more. That's the RWM placed down as well. Good poke by Venus. Both teams disengages. But that was a flicker burnt from Edward for nothing. It's going to be Burnick Splash with a good trade over. That's the first objective. Turret taken out. Now, Donut and Chama both revealed. That's going to be the poke down. The snipe from Owl. Not going to be able to connect onto Chama, but it does find its mark onto Donut, who has the steel leg plates and is able to just soak it in.
A very pokey style of gameplay from side of Blacklist International. As long as they're able to find themselves those kind of skill shots, they are probably going to be in a very good shot. But hold on a second, as we do have ATM jumping in.
Oh, and not blast as well. No flicker committed right now, but Donut picks up the kill. Now the Donut part memory as well. And the conceal, they want to go straight for the Lord. A good conversion so far. Blacklist, now to be wise, who finds the heavy spin, but it's only on to D7. Not a good choice of target unless they're able to push them down instantly with the final slash. Edward does it. ATM onto the back right now, but Owl is going to be charging that Renner down. Edward's going to be pulled down. Donut, he has a tournament memory! And he finds the kill back on Venus! Snipes ATM from the mid lane tier 1. Meanwhile, Chama is already on the Lord. They baited in the heavy spin. Now C-Cat needs to flicker out. Owl respecting this. They need to be careful of Wise. He can certainly still go for the steal right now as Donut flickers out as well. Chama versus Wise. It's going to be Chama who finds him. Owl flickers forward to find the news bastion. A praise is right from Chama, but it's Yue who comes down. Now finding another. 3-4-2, but ultimately Burn X Flash secured the neutral objective.
Oh, massive plays coming out from Burnick Splash. It all started again with the ultimate coming out from Sika to eventually punish Blacklist. Donut is finding the openings, and now they want to find Yue.
Wow, what a steal there with the top, but Yue will still fall, and the crowd in Cambodia.
The crowd is roaring. And this is giving me the goosebumps that I want to see. The entirety of Burn X Flash, they're pushing right in. They manages to bring the middle lane turns down and the bottom lane with the Lord marching down south. Blacklist International now being forced to play backwards. They're gonna have to hold themselves within their own jungle and look for a point in time where they can find a mistake from Burn X Flash, something that they do very often.
Heavy spin, pinning down Chama, bringing him back under the tier 2 and the base turret. A good pickoff right now, but it does not stop Burnick Splash's siege down in the bottom lane tier 2. Renner's Apathy charged in mid lane, gonna be chunked down, but without Donut in that bottom lane, they'll still be able to find that tier 2 for free. No trades from Blacklist aside from the kill.
Burn X Flash have closed the disparity and is only at 2,000 gold. So things are looking extremely well, even though Burn X Flash have managed to bring down the bottom lane, two bottom lane turrets and two bottom lane turrets and one middle lane turret. They even gotten the top one. This is a lot of gold that is just rolling over to Burn X Flash. And Brody is catching up.
He's really caught up now. Donut is just 400 gold behind this Beatrix. You saw that he was, what, 2,000 gold behind before? And now it's a 1,000 gold lead. 1.5 for Blacklist International. The recovery definitely was there for the side of Burn X Flash. That means, though, this is their timing. 9 minutes, we talked about it. That is the Burn X Flash timers. That's a burn timer. They really want to team fight during that moment. The Brody is a perfect hero to go for that kind of play, as well as the
real world manipulation. First the flicker and ATM! Finds the shutdown! The coordination right now is Donut's gonna be pinned down, but he has the flicker to get out. These 7 flickers forward, but Owl responds it over with a flicker of his own. Blacklist are still in this game, still holding on, grasping onto that gold lead.
Very equal resources used, except for the fact that Burn X Flash has managed to get a kill down to Oh My Venus. Perhaps the amount of sustainability from the side of Blacklist is just lacking, and they just don't have the proper way that they normally like to play to extend the team fights even longer, keep the opponents in a chokehold when it comes down to these neutral objectives. This time, they lost a little bit of control. Their front line is still great. They still have a lot of poke damage, which is going to be one of the main ways that they want to win. But when it comes down to really contesting the neutral objective, do they have got what it takes despite these initiating factors?
I think both teams have got what it takes. It's just a matter of skill issue, right? Who is gonna make a better play?
Another missed mechanic from Edward. Final slash flicker does not connect onto anyone. A little bit of a blunder. Now a big resource spent. G7. He's going to be spotted down. Owl pops into Renner's Apathy a bit too early as ATM goes into the back line right now with the vengeance as well. It's a solo kill! And the queen falls as well! The king will try his best to go for the retribution with a heavy spin. Jamal's walking in, he wants at it, but he will not find it. The King still is able to secure the Lord, but Blacklist crumble in this team fight. Burn, X, Flash have risen in Cambodia.
Despite getting the Lord, 4 members from the side of Blacklist International has fallen. There's still the middle wave that's pushing in, and they will do what it takes to bring down this inhibitor turret and get themselves a big advantage.
Oh my god, can you defend if you're Blacklist? Vertex Flash, they have really watched a lot of videos.
But it's range. Donut will be slain. D7 with a response with an Numenon Blast, but Venus does not want to stop, wants to keep chasing. Does not find the Astral Sphere. It will be Burn X Flash with a disengage.
If you're watching a lot of Blacklist games, you know that they win during the Lord fights when they go for heroes, when they turn for heroes. Burn X Flash, advanced play, go ahead, hands up play to the back lines.
ATM once again is jumping forward. Owl with an Abiru. Now it's a snipe as well, but it's going to be a good zone from Seacat to provide safety for his XP laner. Owl trying to lifesteal back in. Wise providing the zone as they will try their best to siege this turret down below. It's a good clear from Seacat.
It really seems as though Blacklist International is getting a little bit urgent here. They seem to be a bit desperate for what they want to get. They're starting to lose control of the game and they immediately push themselves over to the opponent's jungle, trying to siege on the turrets, trying to get whatever lead that they can before they completely loses it all.
Hometown buff. I mean, people from Cambodia, the fans from Cambodia, they bought the tickets, they went into the stadium, they want to be entertained. But Burn X Flash is giving even more. They're giving a lot of hope, and now they do have the momentum against Blacklist International.
I think that ATM played a very vital role in that previous fight. He immediately identified where Owl is, and he understood that Blacklist International, no one else can really lock him down except for Wise, and he knew that Wise will use it right before the Lord needs to go down.
That's the play. They use Donut as well as ATM to go to the backlines. Typically, you don't want to use their marksman in the backlines, but this is Brody. You can get a pick off because of that hero in stage of the game.
And just like that.
And wait, by the way,
yes,
you can see Owl did not go for a Wind of Nature, by the way.
He did
went
not.
for Athena Shield.
Owl went for Athena Shield. He's putting a lot of respect on the ATM. I mean, after what has transpired, he knew that he's going to be one of the main targets of this Joy. And he also knows that Blacklist International, their own front lines, can't possibly stop him.
And if you're looking at your items, Burn X Flash, if you're looking at the tab, you have to take advantage of this situation, knowing full well that the Wind of Nature won't come for about,
Yes.
2 minutes from now? This is your timing. Look for a play.
Well, top lane, in the XP lane, it does seem like Yue got better trade here up against ATM, forcing him to back away, but it is still lane prio for Burn for now. We're looking to go for some more prio down below.
We're going back to the reset. We're looking at Burn X Flash that do have their front lines as well as Blacklist International's front line, except for the fact that there is the middle wave for the side of Blacklist International. Wise is going to be starting things off with a ultimate, and ATM
Evaded the heavy spin, now the Vengeance comes in, Edward with the flicker, but it's not going to be able to find ATM just in time. Meanwhile, Donut! In the back! With the core of our memory! The 7 finds in white drive, and he does get it for the team! That's the saving grace for Blacklist International, but it's only Yue and Venus left. The Lord spawns, but it spawns in the bottom lane.
It constantly goes for the same thing where Blacklist International gets the Lord and then Burn X Flash tries to run it down.
The waves are crashing down. D7, no immortality. Venus trying to cut the way, but ATM will zone him away. D7, now with the shield. Yue flickers forward! Yue! What? With a double kill and a shutdown. Another double from Venus. Blacklist, they have recovered with the Lord down below. Burn are forced back.
And Owl is back, and they have the minions. The flow of the waves are in their favor.
The Lord
Blacklist
is below.
International, the defense is there, and now they know now where Seacat is.
Seacat is going to be the only one alone with not a lot of health left.
Venus with the kill. The Lord is down below. The home ground advantage will not matter. Not to Blacklist International.
Burn X Flash, they came in with a great idea. They knew what they wanted from this game, but perhaps they've streamlined themselves to run it down in the middle lane. Perhaps they can only look at one thing at a time, and Blacklist International, they have the entire map to look out for.
Man, Burning Splash, that was their game.
That was!
But the defense coming up from Yue, connecting on 4 members of Burning Splash, definitely overheating in that situation. I still want to say, Owl not deciding to go for the win of nature. That was a losing play for the side of Blacklist International. You saw how he was destroyed by Donut in that last fight. Had it not been for Yue's heroics in this game, this would have been Burning Splash's game.
I truly admired the recovery game from Blacklist International. I think it is extremely clutch for Yue to identify that Numinon Blast is what I need. Numinon Blast is something that, yes, it stuns people, but because I build damage, I can wipe out the entire wave in the middle lane, and if somehow clips the other people from the back, identify, they can dream.
D7, no immortality.
And then Burn X Flash tries to run it down.
The waves are crashing down. D7, no immortality. Venus trying to cut the way, but ATM will zone him away. D7, now with the shield. Yue flickers forward! Trying to cut the way, but ATM will zone him away. D7, now with the shield. Yue flickers forward! Yue! What? With a flickers forward! Yue! What? With a double kill and a shutdown. Another double from Venus. Blacklist. They have shield. Yue flickers forward. Yue! What? With a double kill. Yue! What? With a double kill. Yue! Away. D7, now with the shield. Yue flickers forward! Yue! What? With a double kill and a shutdown. Another double from Venus. Blacklist. They have recovered with the Lord down below. Yue flickers. Venus trying to cut the way, but ATM will zone him away. D7, now with the shield. Yue flickers forward! Yue! What? Flickers forward! Yue! What? With a double kill and a shutdown. Another double from Venus. Blacklist. They have recovered with the Lord down below. Burn our force back.
And Owl is back, and they have the minions. The flow of the waves are in their favor.
The Lord
Blacklist
is below.
International, the defense is there. And now they know now where Sikat is.
Sikat is gonna be the only one alone with not a lot of health left.
Venus.
Sikat is gonna be the only one alone with not a lot of health left.
Yes.
Sikat is gonna be the only one alone with not a lot of health left.
Yes.
Sikat is gonna be the only one alone with not a lot of health left.
Sikat is.
Sikat is gonna be the only one alone with not a lot of health left.
Yes.
Sikat is gonna be the only one alone with not a lot of health left.
Venus.
Sikat is gonna be the only one alone with not a lot of health left.
Venus with the kill. The Lord is down below. The home ground advantage will not matter. Not to Blacklist International. Will not matter. Not to Blacklist International.
Burn X
International.
and then it constantly goes for the same thing where Blacklist International gets the Lord and then Burn X Flash tries to run it down.
The waves are crashing down. D7, no immortality. Venus trying to cut the way, but ATM will zone him away. D7, now with the shield. Yue flickers forward! Yue! What? With a flickers forward! Venus trying to cut the way, but ATM will zone him away. D7, now with the shield. Yue flickers forward! Yue! What? Flickers forward! Yue! What? With a double kill and a shutdown. Another double from Venus. Blacklist. They have recovered with the Lord down below. Burn our force back.
And Owl is back, and they have the minions. The flow of the waves are in their favor.
The Lord
Blacklist
is below.
International. The defense is there. And now they know now where Sikan is.
Sikan is gonna be the only one alone with not a lot of health left.
Venus,
Sikan is gonna be the only one alone with not a lot of health left.
Venus with the kill. The Lord is down below. The home ground advantage will not matter. Not to Blacklist International.
Burn Axe Flash, they came in with a great idea. They knew what they wanted from this game, but perhaps they've streamlined themselves to run it down in the middle lane. Perhaps they can only look at one thing at a time, and Blacklist International, they have the entire map to look out for.
Man, Burn Axe Flash, that was their game.
That was!
With the defense coming up from Yue, connecting on 4 members of Burn Axe Flash. Definitely overheating in that situation. I still want to say, Owl not deciding to go for the win of nature. That was a losing play for the side of Blacklist International. You saw how he was destroyed by Donut in that last fight. Had it not been for Yue's heroics in this game, this would have been Burn Axe Flash's game.
I truly admired the recovery game from Blacklist International. I think it is extremely clutch for Yue to identify that Numenon Blast is what I need. Numenon Blast is something that, yes, it stuns people, but because I build damage, I can wipe out the entire wave in the middle lane, and if somehow clips the other people from the back, that's a huge, huge bonus.
Just give the MVP to Yue. We know who did it. We know who put Blacklist in the right track to take the game up against a team who looked unstoppable in front of their home crowd.
We already know how this rookie has been playing.
Grabbing these major objectives despite weaker and less important trades across the
in the bottom lane.
It constantly goes for the same thing where Blacklist International gets the Lord and then Burn Axe Flash tries to run it down.
The waves are crashing down. D7, no immortality. Venus trying to cut the way, but ATM will zone him away. D7, now with the shield. Yue flickers forward! Yue! What? With a double kill and a shutdown. Another double from Venus. Blacklist, they have recovered with the Lord down below. Burn our force back.
And Owl is back, and they have the minions. The flow of the waves are in their favor.
The Lord
Blacklist
is below.
International. The defense is there, and now they know now where Sikan is.
Sikan is gonna be the only one alone with not a lot of health left.
Venus with the kill. The Lord is down below. The home ground advantage will not matter. Not to Blacklist International.
Burn Axe Flash, they came in with a great idea. They knew what they
with the tournament member time. Meanwhile, Donut evaded the heavy spin. Now the Vengeance comes in. Edward with the flicker, but it's not going to be able to find ATM just in time. Meanwhile, Donut in the back with the tournament memory. The 7-5 in white in the back with the tournament memory. The 7-5 in white drive, and he does get it for the team. That's the saving grace for Blacklist International, but it's only Yue and Venus left. The Lord spawns, but it spawns in the bottom lane.
It constantly goes for the same thing where Blacklist International gets the Lord and then Burn Axe Flash tries to run it down.
The waves are crashing down. D7, no immortality. Venus trying to cut the way, but ATM will zone him away. D7, now with the shield. Yue flickers forward! Yue! What? With a double kill! Cut the way, but ATM will zone him away. D7, now with the shield. Yue flickers forward! Yue! What? With a double kill and a shutdown. Another double from Venus. Blacklist, they have recovered with the Lord down below. Burn our force back.
And Owl is back, and they have the minions. The flow of the waves are in their favor.
The Lord
Blacklist
is below.
International. The defense is there, and now they know now where Sikan is.
Sikan is gonna be the only one alone with not a lot of health left.
Venus.
Sikan is gonna be the only one alone with not a lot of health left.
Venus with the kill. The Lord is down below. The home ground advantage will not matter. Not to Blacklist International. Will not matter. Lord is down below. The home ground advantage will not matter. Not to Blacklist International.
You know, there could be a potential where his confidence will just dip down just because the fact that he's losing the red tree battles. He did well in this game. It's just that he's facing against Wise. Wise, 90% of the time will get that retribution, 1v1, especially with Akai, with Frederick. He knows what to do. He knows his timings. Chima had a great opening, a good look on getting the retribution, but didn't get it in specific moments. But don't fret, that is Wise. Maybe they now will have a different way to challenge that Lord Dance against Blacklist International.
I'm hoping that these Lord Dances from the Kamai champions get much, much better, and I hope that Shama doesn't get hit by the idol syndrome. That is the king of the jungle. Let's throw over to Mara and Rabbi. They're at the merch stand.
Hello everybody, I'm here with Mara in the Jersey Hall.
Right behind us, you can see all the jerseys of the teams that have played and are still playing. Take a look from Singapore to Onyx ID, outplayed Todak, Fireflux Impunity. Right over here, you get to check them out. And they also have the signature of all the players. I wonder if this is going to be up for auction, right?
I love that one, all the signature in the shirt.
That's right. And this one is the brightest one of all.
Wow.
The Burn X Flash, of course, going up against Blacklist International. So for everybody that's here at Aeon 3, you can go ahead and take pictures here. But you know what, Rabbi? I want to take a picture right over here.
I love that.
Take a look at this.
That's very gorgeous.
This is the very beautiful MSC 2023 trophy. Take a look. You can focus on that. And right below, you can actually see the previous teams that have won MSC from 2017, I Do Not Sleep, 2018, Aether Main, 2019, Onyx Esports, 2021, Execration, and of course, once again, RSGPH. So 3 times the Philippines got to take this home.
Wow, that's amazing. So we're gonna know that, we're gonna see that who will be the champion for this battle.
That's right. Beautiful trophy. But you know, I want to take this home myself to
You
put
wanna
in my
hold it
room.
now?
But we're not able to. There's this glass. But you know what I want to take home? Some merchandise. Let's take a look at some merchandise. How's that, Ravi?
Sure, outside.
Let's go right over here. So actually, it's just right outside the hall. Hi, how you doing? How you doing? Yeah. All right, rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper. Okay, we have it 3 times. 3. Rock, paper, scissors. Okay, rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper,
Who's
scissors.
win?
Okay.
Oh, Mara's
I
wins.
won. I won. You know what? You come right over here. I'm gonna bring you with me. Oh, it's okay. Oh, your friend can join. Your friend can join also. What's your name?
Panye.
Panye. Okay, Panye. Take a look at the MSC merchandise right over here. Let's take a look. Hi. Are you shopping also? What's your name?
My name is Mylene.
Mylene. Panye. Oh, you're from Philippines.
I'm from Philippines.
And Panye, you're from?
Cambodia.
Cambodia. So we have who you're rooting for? Burn X Flash.
Yeah.
And I can tell you're rooting for Blacklist.
All the way.
Blacklist all the way. Have you gotten the merchandise yet? No, not yet. And you're taking a look.
First game today.
Oh, it's your first day today. Okay, how about this? Take a look at the merchandise that we have. Okay, there's this tote bag, and there's the white MSC shirt. Take a look.
Mara, I can tell you that all the merchandise here are affordable. It's very good and affordable.
Very affordable?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm gonna test you. How much is this?
16?
At $26.
Do you work here?
Yeah, part-time.
Oh, you work part-time?
I just asked the...
Oh, you asked. Oh, you actually wanted this.
Yeah.
Which color did you want?
I like the black one, but I want with the autograph.
Oh, there's the autograph.
Yeah, but this one is for...
There's the autograph. There's Yureshi, Outplay. Oh my God, take a look, guys. You can actually purchase the one with the autograph. What's your size? You know what? You try this on. You try. What's your size?
What about you both?
S.
S. I don't know where size
What
small
color
is,
you
but
like?
you try
What color
this one
you
on.
like? blacks.
But we're gonna try on the white.
Okay,
Since
try the
she's
white
trying
first,
on the
and then
black.
we're gonna go to
Go
black.
ahead. Go ahead. Let's try this one on.
Do you want to try it?
And for now, this one, this beautiful tote bag, this is limited edition MSC tote bag. Let's take a look. Can we model this? Do you know how to model? Do some poses.
Oh.
Richard, can you do that? You just pose like this. Like you're taking a photo.
Pose like a hero you like.
Like pretend you're an MLBB player from Burnex Clash. How do they pose?
Look their pose.
You don't look at their pose. I think they go like this. Okay. How does the queen pose? All right. You know what? Is it okay if they can? Is it okay if they can keep this? I don't hear any instructions, but we're gonna give it to them. Here you go. For letting me interview you, you get to keep that. Let's give him a bag. Let's give him a bag also. Let's give him some merch. Let's give him some merch. And you know what? Right over here. Let's come. Go around here. Take a look. We have this roulette. Ravi, they have this roulette. Friend number 3, come on over.
Hey, but I want to
Come on
spin
over.
this.
You already got this. How about your friend? Oh, right? So all 3 of you can get. You know what? We have this roulette. What's gonna happen, Ravi, here?
Here. So I want to spin this, and which one I will get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about let's let him spin? How's
Sure.
that?
Blacklist in turn.
Gonna get out these 7 flickers forward, but
Except for the fact that Burnex Flash middle waves that's pushing in, and they will
this team fight, Burn!
We already know how the ultimate and black ATM.
He baited the heavy spin, now the Vengeance comes in, Edward with the flicker, but it's not going to be able to find ATM just in time. Meanwhile, in the back with the torn apart memory. The 7-5 in white flies, and it does get it for the team. That's the saving grace for Blacklist International, but it's only Yue and Venus left. The Lord spawns, but it spawns in the bottom lane.
It constantly goes for the same thing where Blacklist International gets the Lord and then Burnex Flash tries to run it down.
The waves are crashing down. D7, no immortality. Venus trying to cut the way, but ATM will zone him away. D7, now with the shield. Yue flickers forward! Yue! What? With a double kill and a shutdown. Another double from Venus. Blacklist, they have recovered with the Lord down below. Burn are forced back.
Owl is back, and they have the minions. The flow of the waves are in their favor.
The Lord
Blacklist
is
International,
below.
the defense is there, and now they know now where Sikat is.
Sikat is gonna be the only one alone with not a lot of health left.
Venus with the kill. The Lord is down below. The home ground advantage will not matter. Not to Blacklist International.
You can purchase some limited edition MSC 2023
grab it.
merchandise. All for you. You can take a photo. It's really fun here, right, Ravi?
Yeah, sure. Why not? There's a lot of fans here outside, and maybe they're a fan of you too. So why not we take photos?
And then now, we're gonna go back to break down what's going to happen next. What do our casters think? So casters, take us to see the world.
Here we'll see the teams are back on the stage, prepped up for game 2. And as mentioned, it's a battle of resets in and out of the series. In game, they have to erase all memories of what may have caused them to burn up way past their boiling point. In series, they have to understand, we are in for the long haul. It's a best of 5.
Game number 1 was more or less for Burnex Flash, but it didn't quite work out. You know, reset mindset, go next. They had a good idea. They had a great draft. I think that they knew how to execute their draft to perfection. It was just a final game, a final fight that didn't quite go well, but this single wrong move erupted.
Good news is for Burnex Flash, as the losers of game 1, they get the choice of which side to pick in game 2.
Yep.
Wolf, what do you think is going to happen?
Blue side, I think, especially because they want to secure the Joy, or maybe just deny pick the Fredrin. even when Chima, he had a bronze medal afterwards. Right? I don't think that he played badly this game. It's just that he is up against Wise. But when it comes to retry battles, it's very difficult. But he did his job. But overall, I think that the joy coming up from ATM must be the priority here for the side of Burning Flash. If you're Blacklist International, if you want to troubleshoot, you actually want to pick up that joy if it's not first picked by Burning Flash.
Now, if the joy is banned, if Blacklist International found out, okay, ATM's joy is a problem, what are the other heroes that we can possibly look out for that would
ATM?
work the same thing?
Harlot, perhaps, maybe some sort of a killer in the backlines, right? Maybe a Lapu Lapu.
Lapu Lapu.
Yeah.
Yuzong can technically do the same thing as well.
It's an all-in hero, so it's a difficult one.
Yeah.
Thing is, though, if you do go for the ban towards this joy, it's going to be really interesting to see, especially if Blacklist International are on red side, because they banned out the Franco, Lance, and Wanwan. I don't think they want any of those heroes up for grabs. Thing is, also, though, that Burn, again, they found a lot of comfort in game number 1 with those picks. If Blacklist International don't change the bans up, Burn will certainly do the same thing as well. They won't change any of the bans. I think right now, sure, the Whack Venus kind of playstyle, kind of draft, hasn't worked out, but this is the closest we've got to beating Blacklist ever in this tournament.
Which is, again, despite the whole, are we going to adjust the XP lane? I think we're going to see an iteration. I think we're going to see close to what Game 1's draft looked like, especially since Blacklist might stay red.
Yeah, and what will be close there is maybe you deny pick the Fredrin, but you also get the joy. I think the Blacklist International, they got away with that game. ATM should not be allowed to play that way, because that is like the core foundation of what Burning Slash wants to do in a Lord fight.
Oh, well, we'll see how it all comes through, given that we're expecting Burning Flash to stay on the blue side, that meaning first pick. Here's a draft entering game 2 proper. And indeed, we see Burnex Flash on the play here. They ban out, again, a lot of Oh My Venus signature heroes, and they lock in that Fredrin, the Novaria, and the Kaja for Blacklist. It's a Bunjingjing's turn. It's Edward's turn. It's Joy.
Edward Joy.
Dapadap.
So Edward went with an other previous game, and Blacklist International pretty much knows whatever that we pick right now for Edward, he wouldn't be able to get the lane priority. Now this time, we're going to switch it around. We want to get the lane priority. We want to play our Ube. We want Edward to start moving around faster.
Exactly. So they go Minotaur. They preempt the storm. They want to go for an engage type of composition here for Blacklist International. You can see that with the Digi ban, there's no real answers to the Minotaur now. But if you're Burnex Slash, don't go for attack speed based heroes. Go for big bursts. Like, for example, your Beatrix that is going to be just using the ultimates of the Renner and the Bennett. Go for something like a Brody. It worked well in the previous game. It didn't have a good start, but it might work. Also, those two heroes, they don't really mind the Joy going to the backline, so that might be it. I like the adjustment here for Burnex Slash, allowing Joy to be picked up, then picking up the Kaja in exchange.
Could it be that they want Oh My Venus to play more of the comfort? They want Oh My Venus to stick to the same guns by going for more defensive support with this Minotaur immediately snapped up?
Maybe. That might be the case, right? They also want a little bit more of a, I would say, a shot at initiating. Because last game it was a very reactive draft for Blacklist International. Very reactive playstyle. If Arlet, Edward, didn't get a final slash combo that he missed a few times, then it's no more engage. That's why they were really struggling in these neutral objective battles.
There was a couple of times Edward just misses out the final slash.
Yep. You can see that the priority now for Blacklist is onto ATM. I wonder if Burnex Flash are considering something like an Esmeralda in the XP lane so that they can counter this Joy. But they might just revert back to something like a Terizla. But that means that they will have to just go back to their to a full engage composition. They do need burst to go with this Kaja, which is typically the carry. So that is a good ban for sure for Blacklist International.
Wait. Interesting. Coach Mitch and Skyzy still take out the Valentina, or rather the Eve, despite there being a Valentina.
This could be a flex pick. There's the Beatrix. Great
Beatrix still.
Great answer. Burnex Flash, are you still going to go for something like a Brody? I think Brody's good in this particular game.
It's bursty.
With the Eve, they are setting up for something like a Leslie pick. It is a very dangerous Leslie pick up against a Joy, but they do have a Kaja, so they already have an answer to it in case they want to go for that pick. Very
Yes.
risky once again, but it is Donut's signature pick
Oh.
in MPLKH.
But just the way that there are thousands of Cambodians watching here in Phnom Penh, Wise's family also flew out. So there
Exactly.
are loving eyes
Yeah.
in the audience that will support Blacklist here on this matchup.
Can I say Masha or Esmeralda might be the last pick for Burnix Slash? We saw
Yes, you
Masha
can.
being effective versus the Beatrix as well as this. Oh, it's
Oh,
Glue. Okay,
got it.
Glue's still
It's Glue.
effective.
Okay.
Who's good?
Glue's good.
And of course, when you were looking at Glue, ATM did play a lot of Glue in his qualifying games. 14 games, and that is a 71% win rate. So this Glue is probably gonna be huge. And let's not forget, Donut is back on the Leslie.
Oh, wow. We got some...
Black Seacat's family now.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm so happy to see that our players have invited the people who supported them throughout their careers.
Yep.
And this is not the sweetest victory.
Yeah.
If in front of your family you're able to upset. Here we go. Finally, it all makes sense. It wasn't going to be the Valentina in the jungle for Wise. He picks up an old favorite here. Not that great of a record in MSC so far, despite the small sample size. He picks up the Baksha.
I think it's gonna be A-OK now. I think that the Baxia would not be getting that 0 win rate anymore. Maybe, perhaps. But ultimately, I think that the drafts coming in from both sides is very interesting to see. We're starting to see both teams starting to revert a little bit more towards their comfort game plan, and they have got what it takes to bring this game to a very close match.
I think it's going to be a better team fight situation for both sides compared to Game 1.
Right.
Game 1 had very few, I'd say, clean 5v5 fights. This time around, there's a good amount of vision, there's a good amount of peel for both sides, and I hope, all I'm hoping is, with a solid lineup like this, for Burn X Flash, they don't burn out. Gentlemen, take the floor, let's go into Game 2.
Game number 2, and this time we have a Leslie on the side of Donut and a Glue on the side of ATM. This is probably gonna be a big game. Let's not forget Seacat on the Novaria. The front three is going to be big.
It all started to be like a pick-off kind of comp coming up from Burning Slash with this Kaja. Then they couple it up with a Glue, which kind of solidifies that fact. Although they have a Frederick who wants to engage, they have a solid pick-off type of composition. Nevertheless, Blacklist International, I like this Baksha pick because this means that there is someone to go with Edward whenever they will want to go to Donut's place.
Oh My Venus is the first player to achieve 100 assists in MSC 2023. Trailing behind is Echoes Yaoi with 88. So, right on that point, there's actually an engage here in the mid lane. D7 might be caught, forced to use the dash, holding on to the flicker. But I do want to bring up one thing here, Wolf. Seacat chose to go for Mystery Shop.
That's actually very surprising. I didn't think that would be the case. But then again, he's a mid laner, so he will output the damage. He's not going to be focusing on like spamming his spells as much as you would if you're rocking the Impure Rage. And this might be because they want to take advantage of the Kaja ultimate.
ATM already dove early on here, but Wise will just give the respect that they need. But also Edward. Bargain Hunter.
The focus on the bottom lane is very evident from the side of Blacklist International. The amount of priority that this Joyce have and how he can just make his way over to the middle lane is fast. And do note that when it comes down to the mid-to-mid matchup, Novaria clears the wave way faster than Valentina. And it makes sense for Oh My Venus to try to come in to clear the wave and help Valentina to unlock him, to move him around the map in order for them to both hit level 4 for the turtle fight.
Look at the minimap. Wise is actually up top. He understands that he can get back to the turtle anyways, or maybe just trade the purple buff.
Yeah, D7 doesn't have level 4, so he's not able to actually zone Wise away. Wise will just take that away, but he uses the Retribution now. Chima will find the turtle for free. Chima with the taunt now on the Venus. That's everybody! That's D7 with the Flicker combo and the Divine Judgment. US still able to maneuver out. Now with the split stolen away, he should be able to escape. Burn X Flash, they secure the objective, but Blacklist get a good trade.
Now, that is a trade of a purple buff and a turtle. Yep. Something that I don't see much from Blacklist International is to give away the turtle.
Yeah. Well, they did do that in MPLPH Season 11's finals. They gave away the first turtle of the game, and then they snowball out of it. And they do it typically with Baksha. The ideology is, once you get more buffs, more neutral camps, versus your jungling matchup, you get so much damage. You get overloaded with levels. Wise is level 6. 3/4 of the way to level 7, while Chima is just level 5. And eventually, Turtle number 2 and 3, and then eventually Lord 1, the experience is just off the roof.
So it all boils down to a matchup of Wise versus Shema. Blacklist International wants to bolster their front lines. They want to keep Wise levels ahead of Shema. It could come into the point whereby it is higher retribution damage in the later stages of the game, or just general damage overall of what a Boxer could do for the team.
And that means that they have the tools to shut down the glue, right? The glue is a glue as well as the Fredrin. They rely on sustain. They want to get back their HP. With the Baksha being in there, it's the way to go. And this is a very smart take from Blacklist International. Not the first time that they did it, but now they're showing it in the international stage at MSC and working full well for the team.
Scary stuff right now. ATM cutting the waves very deep. Might be punished. US stole the Divine Judgment. Good flicker out. That could have been bad as the turtle spawns in. It's already a pretty big battle spell burnt though, so ATM will not have the split nor a flicker.
Well, at least now the turtle is going to be appearing up north, while Blacklist International have 2 personnel down bottom.
Minion Fury and the Divine Judgment. ATM will fall, and that's first blood for Blacklist International in the 4th minute of the game. A lane swap as well, as that was sent down below. Chima should be able to find this turtle for free with the Retribution. Wise unable to go for any invades.
The trade for the turtle while taking ATM down. They found the pickup and they are pushing Owl down to the bottom lane. So now everything is shifted. They're trying to get Owl into the mix. They're trying to give all the priorities over to Owl. After taking down all of these energy turrets, I am rather confident to say that Owl should be able to, once this turret goes down, he should be active and be able to contribute a lot more in fight as compared to Donut, his can't.
Divine Judgment, one more shot from Donut is all he needs, but Edward gets out. Now Venus jumps in with a knock-up. Donut gonna be knocked up, but US unable to find just some damage here. Donut in the midst of it all, jumping back in. US low! He summons over the kill. Donut finds it. It's 1 for 1 in the gold lane. Now who's it worth for?
Oh, definitely side of Blacklist, but because Chima was able to push in the middle, now it shifts and dips back to Burning Splash's favor. The fact that Donut was able to get the kill before he died, that was actually a lot of value for Burning Splash. Then again, Burning Splash, they want to play this late. They cannot win in this early game anyways because this is Blacklist International with Baksha Joy as well as the Beatrix. They kind of conceded. The fact that they're evening it out, that's already good news for the Cambodians.
The funny thing is the fact that, well, Yue went down because of a single ballista shot. The ballista was the one that got the last hit.
That's right.
Ultimately, that is great for Burning Splash. They're trying to, kind of close up the gap as much as they can. There isn't even much deficit at this point in time. And Blacklist International, they are ready to rumble. They made themselves, they pushed themselves all the way down in the bottom lane after Beatrix is pretty much done farming up all of the energy turrets in the bottom lane. And let's not forget, it's 6 minutes and 20 seconds in.
So Owl got a lot of the turret gold in the bottom lane, but he's actually still behind in gold compared to Burn X Splash's Donut. Something to note down. That means his farming and his laning for Donut has been absolutely spectacular.
All the turrets are still up, so both teams are still playing a little bit more of a stay in the lane kind of composition. Blacklist International still have a lot of lane priority going on.
I was about to say, how does Wise do it? How is he ahead with 2 turtles going to Burn X Splash, but he's still there. Chima is able to win the retry battle despite being a level down. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, you can already see the Leslie deal damage right now. D7 flickers forward, unable to find Yue right now, but Minions Fury comes down. Donut's free, hitting in the back. Venus forced to run away. Burn X Splash, I think they've done enough to zone Blacklist away from this turret, but with a few members walking down again, will Burn actually be able to take this turret down?
A very effective reset. Blacklist International, they're gonna have to go for this reset, but for now, the conceal play didn't really quite do much, except for the fact to zone them away from the first tier defense turret.
This is such a... That box was set up from Burning Splash so well. They have the conceal play only to threaten...
BOD?
That was BOD, in fact.
7 minutes?
5.5k total for now for Donut. Raw boots though, bare boots. It's the brown boots that he picked up.
And even the Berserker's Fury.
This is massive already. If he gets the Endless Battle next, he can completely just ignore the boots. He has the peel ready, and Edward, he might just get bursted down in the top lane. ATM's going to be able to escape right now, and it's going to be a kill! Donut! 7 minutes in, this Leslie is not just scaling, he is snowballing.
It's big.
Man, and now they're gonna steal the purple buff away
Yes.
from Wise.
And
That
top
timer
lane.
has expired for Blacklist.
There's a trade though, whenever
Trade.
there's a play. Now though, Burnix Flash getting the better of the trade. Wise ready with an early Twilight armor. Burn gets a tier 2 in the mid lane.
There could be even a possibility that Burnex Flash will want to take this opportunity to starve out Blacklist International as much as possible. First tier, second tier, middle lane, completely gone. As long as they do have information, which is what Donut is looking to do, they will be able to get a very good idea if whether Seacat can push up top. And now, with the information, they know!
Venus with the flicker, Seacat gonna be gunned down, but he's able to escape right now as Tamal walks forward. The Cambodian crowd goes wild. The taunt connects onto Yue as he soaks in a lot of damage, and Yue will fall to the 7th. The Appraiser's Brand and the Divine Judgment brings Venus back to Donut. It's another snipe down. Ow!
Oh!
Very low. They're looking for a dive. The Bennett's Rage committed out. Owl, no flicker. Seacat looking for one. Seacat has come alive. 9 minutes in. Perfectly timed, perfectly converted from the Cambodians to a Lord.
Game 1 was a warm-up, dudes. Burnex Flash, this is their true form. Perfect movements coming up from Seacat. He avoids the full gank of Blacklist, forcing the flicker out, gets out of the map, then goes down to flicker out and save his teammates. Then lands the killing blow onto Owl. They're on fire.
I'm getting the shivers! Blacklist International probably is having that as well!
I've never seen Blacklist forced to fight. Wise had to go up front, shield Unity in to just open up the map, and Burnex Flash chunks him down despite having a Twilight armor.
Let me remind you what the burn timers are. 9 minutes. It's their timing. Burnex Flash, they group up together. They outplay their opponents. Donut is a league ahead of the Beatrix this game. And with 3 items incoming, if Seacat lands the Astrosphere and Donut just lands one hit, it's so much damage.
It's burn
Oh.
time.
Oh my god.
D7 looking for the Divine Judgment now. ATM jumps forward in the back line. Donut free hitting. Donut free hitting in the back. Seacat found the kill. Wise now taunted up. Donut has a few more shots in him. The Divine Judgment brings him back. Donut's wild. It's a mega kill for Donut. 3 members down. The Beaver's crashing committed. But it's going to be Owl who gets chunked down. Donut has one more shot and he can kill Owl. He's waiting. They're marching.
7 seconds, 9
One
seconds.
more set. A few seconds for Venus to respawn. They're not going to be able to take this base down for now, but they've been able to crack the base open. Burn X Flash with a 6,000 gold lead up against Blacklist.
For a second, I thought that they will do what they did in game number 1.
Yeah,
I was kind of scared.
But at least there is going to be parallel push from the top and the bottom lane, right? We do have the mega creeps that will march on forward. But for now, the main thing that we want to see is exactly the outplay or the play around coming in from Burnex Flash and Blacklist International. What exactly transpired down here?
Very crucial grenade coming out from Donut to actually stop Edward, because Edward was onto him already. When he timed his second skill, the grenade was there. He was able to get out and also stop Edward from dashing through. That was so crucial because now Edward cannot reset the dashes anymore.
11 minutes and 30 seconds left. Burnex Flash, they are in the zone. They are waiting for the Lord to eventually appear. And I believe that the nightmare of game number 1 is playing in their head. They're thinking about this. What is the core game plan here in order to not execute the same mistake that they have did in the previous game?
Just don't group up. Utilize the range of Donut. I think that they're going to be fine, right?
Don't group up.
Just remember that the Donut is long range, like
Yes.
hell of a range, actually.
So all they gotta do, hang back a little bit. But contradictory right now, Burnex Flash grouped up in Blacklist International's jungle. They were preparing themselves for something. But Blacklist International, they were disciplined. They do not want to push everyone else out. But Seacat is the only one that made his way down to the bottom lane to try to defend. But these 2 members all the way down below, they are not making a move just yet. And this slow, steady, bushwhack move, this positioning may be very important to the upcoming Lord's fight. What exactly is the game plan here from Wise and Edward?
They found Donut right now, and that's going to be the dive coming in. Donut flickering out of the wall right now. A good second skill, but Donut's going to be cut down! Donut will fall! Infinite Fury on the 3! They have grouped up! Seacat clinging on to dear life. Yue with a flicker forward and Blacklist with a key back into the game. They have found a way. Burn that Filipino bush in the bottom lane.
The Filipino bush.
Is that really a thing?
I don't know. Is it a thing, Wolf?
We'll
It
make
is a thing.
We'll make it a thing now.
Yeah,
It's a Filipino bush.
you have a wing. You have wings, bushes on the. You have the left wing bush on the left side, right side the right wing bush, south side window bush. That was the play, and to be in all due fairness, you thought that it will be read through by Burnex Flash, but oh my Venus player, well look at that jump.
Wow.
Wow.
That was so beautiful to see.
Orchestrated. This is absolutely just asking for it. Blacklist International have played out this moment, played out what they wanted, and that is the result that they have. They brought down 4 members from Burnex Flash, and they even gotten themselves the Lord.
Okay.
Seacat was the only one who could have opened up the map. He was clearing out the waves down below as well. The fact that he didn't just throw a random skill over there, it caused this to happen. Blacklist the way back into the game, and now they're truly getting flashbacks of game number 1.
They have even the lead. Like it's not just them cutting set deficit. This is them getting the lead. I mean, the way that they played this Baksha, it's so smart. Right now from the side of Blacklist International.
I didn't think that this is how they were played either. I thought it was, bounce, a lot of mobility, run here, run there, become a wheel, crash and bang. So, at this point in time, Blacklist International, they're just holding it down. Back to their disciplined gameplay. Calm, compose, and look for the final time or look for the right time to eventually jump in on the right person.
ATM, I don't think he is the right person. He pops in the split though. D7's looking for the Divine Judgment. Is Edward gonna be caught? Edward's gone back to the deep of the flicker as well. Chama with the taunt, but he's able to escape. A good Minion's Fury by Venus to help with the disengage. Blacklist International running for the hills. They do not want to commit this time around. They can get poked down still. And Burnex Flash will be able to defend their base.
Completely walked out of that. Edward was pulled in and caught with the Divine Judgment, but somehow it just doesn't seem to do much.
Yep. D7 stayed in that bush up top for quite a long time, and he did not find the opening onto Edward. Well, he did find it eventually, but there wasn't Donut in the vicinity. And Oh My Venus usually blocked that shot. That's why you can see that the entirety of Blacklist International just got away. It's because the fact that D7 cannot find a good look. Surely, eventually, he got Edward, but it wasn't enough. They needed more.
I mean, Donut was also focusing on hyper-focused in the middle lane. While the Divine Judgment was going on, he didn't land a single shot in.
Divine Judgment, Immortality going to be down right now as the flicker comes through from Venus, but that's going to be the gun down once again. Donut free hitting in the back, not able to find that Minute Fury range. Owl's doing the same thing right now, but Seacat has some damage. Donut trying to delay Venus with the ultimate, opens up the vision. Some snipes going down. D7 trying to provide some more vision for Burnex Flash to play with. Both of the junglers down. Both the teams will not be able to contest for the Lord for now.
It's a 1-for-1 trade. Burnex Flash, this is the game, or rather that was the fight where Donut was able to contribute to all of the lockdowns that his own teammate managed to bring down.
For Donut, they're just focused on damage. I mean, I totally understand why. Then again, they're starting the Lord. You have to be careful about this if you're Burnex Flash. You don't know where Edward is. Oh, now they... Oh,
Zero information.
Oh, Edward trying to deal some damage right now with a burst. Coming in.
Not good.
But Edward will be bursted first. Vengeance coming down. 1 HP now. Divine Judgment locking out the Yue with Winner's Punch, and he's buying some time. But not enough. Seacat finds the kill. D7 losing Immortality. Blacklist International still with a better position onto the Lord with the wave pushing in that top lane. BXF, what do they do to take control back?
So, I think that at this point in time, even if Yue is not in this game, the fight, the numbers is still gonna be on a stalemate. Burnex Flash still have to work onto the top lane. They still have to push it up. They still have to defend this. And by the time that Burnex Flash is ready, Blacklist International's Yue will come in at the right time. So Wise just need to reset this Lord, push Shama away, and find the right opportunity.
Oh, the Lord Dance.
5 seconds for you at a spawn. Burnex Flash. This should be free, but Wise, look at Wise. Seacat's opening up the map right now. Wise gonna be spotted down as they try to pressure Wise away. Chama, will he save it for his team, or will Wise, the king of the jungle, come through? Clutch. ATM looking him down right now. Chama! How did Owl steal that? Wise will still fall now. Gonna be his fury from Venus, but Donut is massive. Another shot down onto the back line. Owl still able to disengage. But Blacklist International, they found a way perhaps to prolong the game even more.
That was so sweaty.
He single-handedly saved the game.
Give us a replay. I want to see it. What
We need it.
happened?
Well,
Oh,
by the way,
how did Shamar lose in that retribution fight?
No
I
idea.
would like to credit Burnix Flash for doing that play. However, even after they lost that the Lord Retribution fight, the fact of the matter is they know what to do. They utilize, instead of like utilizing the Divine Judgment, they opted to go for Glue's ultimate to isolate that Wise. But then again, Chimar just really did underestimate, you know, the Renner damage coming out from the Beatrix.
So it really boils down to ATM's positioning. ATM just stuck himself onto Wise and waited for the perfect moment to eventually draw him away from the Lord. While Shamar is still sticking onto the Lord. He stood no time at all. But it's all about the timing, Edward, and oh my Venus.
It's just the Retribution coming up from Chimar. The
He
nerfs are
retreat
getting there.
late.
He retreat late.
Super late.
Late.
Or maybe a little bit too early. That's the Bennett. And he was probably scared of the damage output of the Beatrix, understandably so.
Yeah, he can see the Bennett's Rage in the air.
Yep.
You gotta have to predict, you gotta have to, not predict, but you gotta have to expect it.
Exactly.
But how much damage can a Bennett's Rage really, realistically do to a Lord?
It's a lot.
So that's why he's either late or early.
Yep.
You can't time it right.
Okay, it's very difficult. And even if you are Chimal, right, you understand why you want to dodge that. Because you don't have he doesn't have a like physical defense, only the blade armor.
Oh.
He didn't have like a Tikaras or something else. He respects the fact that that's a lot of damage. Still, I think it's a mortal sin to lose that fight, especially after the entirety of your teammates doing the right play. They already isolated Wise. Even when you're so good as Wise on the Retribution, the fact that you're away from the Lord, stand no chance.
It was a 100-0. It wasn't a 50-50. It should have been a 100-0, but Owl,
100%, yeah.
It should have been.
even with Donut, honestly, when you have a Leslie on your team, you technically have 3 Retributions. The first basic attack with the passive, the second with your first skill active, and then the Retribution, the real one. At this point, you can actually, I would say Donut does more than the Retribution.
Probably, yeah. So, I mean, especially since we're looking at true damage after all. Blacklist International, they're trying to open the maps up. ATM is going to be the front lines of Burn X Flash and getting as much information as they can. Right now, goal lead whatsoever, that's not important anymore. It's only 2K. It's not important.
It's not important.
Now it's all about the team play.
Yep.
The macro, the micro. Who does this? Who does that? And Burn X Flash, they have come so close. They just cannot repeat the same mistake of game number 1.
Let's see. Venus
hands.
opening up the map. Good poke down onto Venus. Good shot as well. Half HP on Venus. First about the regeneration soon, but he doesn't. Just waits on it. ATM clearing up the mid lane. Both teams still fighting for prio in these lanes.
Yep. Top lane, very thick amount of minions.
Yes. As such, CCAT will have to move away. But this is probably information that Blacklist International can use. They're clearing out as much as they can. The entirety of Blacklist International, they rotated around, counterclockwise positioning.
Ooh, Donut,
They're all
that's not
waiting.
see that.
Oh, they know! And they find Owl! He's setting out of nowhere! Spear Fury connecting, but Donut 3-hitting! Appraiser's Wrath coming down right now as Wise tries to buy the time. That's the winner Truncheon bot as well, but Donut finds a double! It's a double kill. ATM
The flicker!
going on to Yue. Now Yue buys the immortality, buying some time. It's a triple kill for Donut. ATM has bought enough time. They're going to go straight for the mid lane. Yue and Venus. How do they make this miracle play happen again? 2 minion waves coming crashing down into the base right now. Yue trying to do magic, but he will not be able to do so. Burn X Flash! The flames of Cambodia live in the venue.
Cambodia want it all! This is the game! You've witnessed what you want to see! Burn X Flash! They did what they wanted to do. They broke the code. Game 1 was close. Game 2, they succeeded.
Take it in.
Absorb it all.
Electric atmosphere from the crowd here at the Aeon Mall, Meng Chai.
I'm getting shivers.
I thought
Wolf.
they did not see it. Alright, there's this argument that you can actually pop your ultimate as Leslie, then quickly tap it afterwards. You have a prompt that there's someone else there, and they knew the virus ultimate caught everybody in that long bush up top.
The astral
Donut
echo.
knows how to use it. Quick taps.
He's a fast tapper.
Hold it on for a little bit, huh?
Wow.
The vision game is absolutely
Wow.
phenomenal when you have an Avaria. On top of that, Leslie, the range as well. That's why Blacklist's only way to win was flanking. If they find a good flank, they will win. But if they don't, if Chama is able to open up, if D7 finds a good engage on Owl, it is pretty much over.
The flank happened once, and it worked once. And this time, Blacklist International wanted to go for the second time. We are all flabbergasted. I'm pretty sure Leo is as well.
Go checking my guess coins, boys. I am not as confident in
Is
what
that
I
best
actually
phone?
put in.
Is that best
It's the
phone?
ROG Phone 7. Yes, can confirm in Phantom Black. Now, looking back at it, some things remain true from Game 1, and some things, much to Burn X Flash's benefit, have changed. Definitely you can see, besides the mechanics that all of their players shown, even the macro has changed.
Oh my
and I
God.
think now we can confirm, much like the prior, the initial Kings of Sea, there are also such a thing as burn timers.
Burn timers.
9 minutes,
9
right?
minutes.
As soon as that clock hits 9 minutes, it's time to fire up. And Donut knows.
Donut knows that.
Donut knows that very well.
I definitely agree with you. Maybe that is the coach's decision to do that, or maybe that's the entire team's mojo or rhythm just runs through. I mean, it looks solid. It looks like they consistently did it through scrims. It doesn't look like a thing that they just happenstance, happen to just find out this MSC. It really looked like they rehearsed that for sure.
This is a very tough game to watch. This game is so close, and I'm pretty sure
Give it to him.
Donut, he's known for this.
11 kills.
He's known for this.
He was both payoff and setup, especially in that very last fight in the long bush. Again, mechanics, macro, all in the young Mario Stan, all in Donut.
I can't believe what I'm seeing. By the way,
The faith in Donut, guys.
Fate in Donut. I mean, game number 1 didn't start well for him, but he still recovered. Game number 2, he was there was a 3-man rotation up top that he got a kill first before he was brought down. Gets the Berserker's Fury and the Blade of Despair at 5 minutes. 7 minutes. And
With
was
no
leading
boost.
all throughout this game, all over the place. Activated 9 minutes. You would wonder some teams will utilize this Leslie in the latter portions of the game. We call that, right? They're gonna wait for it. But 9 minutes is a timer. Burn X Flash. They say to Donut, okay, 9 minutes, you have to be ready no matter what happens. Donut says, I'm gonna do it earlier. 7 minutes, let's go.
We mentioned it in the game. When a Leslie does not scale, when a Leslie snowballs, you are in some trouble. The fact that he got that 7-minute BOD and transitioned it over to an endless and a second BOD super early, he took control of the game. He was the game.
He was the game. Thank you. That cannon with 1 HP remaining gave him that extra boost to get the last hit. And then Seacat, great plays coming up from Seacat. He dodges the entire T of Blacklist International, then lands the ultimate. He will be the one to close up the kill. Beautiful usage of the ultimate. By the way, oh my Venus, wonderful usage. Look at that. They canceled Edward's dash, utilizing the grenade coming out from Donut.
Yeah.
That's the reason why they got it.
Donut's second skill was on point.
Yep.
I gotta have to say, Donut, he's just constantly kiting against his opponent. I'm keeping my eyes glued onto him. And in the meantime, the entirety of Burn X Flash, they're creating a wall in front of Donut.
All right, this is how you play Leslie, ladies and gentlemen. Look at how Donut plays literally just with the passive. No random basic attacks.
Yes.
This is how you do it. I've seen so many Leslies, I'm talking about you guys in my ranked games, who basic attack
Look at
constantly. Use your passive. Play around your cooldowns. Do not hit if you do not have it unless it's a guaranteed kill.
He's calculated. He
at
understands that this is where I need to place my shots. This is the tempo of the team fight. And arguably, Blacklist also was building back up. Blacklist was finding angles to compromise Donut's positioning. But just saying, Burn was just a step ahead all throughout this 22-minute bout.
You can more or less imagine Leslie playing as a runner. You have that inbuilt timer. You can't shoot it out so much. And that is the best way to get yourself the optimal DPS.
Yep. 4-0 and 11 onto CCAT. I mean, we talked about Donut, but CCAT on his own, like, he did so well in this game. There are other role players there for Burnix Flash. For example, ATM and D7. D7 wants to focus on Owl. ATM wants to focus onto Wise. And it's not about killing Wise. It's just taking away Wise from the important team fights. And you saw in that last clash, when D7 jumps, it was Owl that they caught because of the Novarius ultimate that was set up, and also because of the game sense that was really burning in the side of Burnix Flash.
Back in the group stages, when they got so close to beating Onyx, the question everywhere was Onyx weak or was Burn strong? I think with this game, we finally have our answer. Burn is strong.
And with this game, Blacklist finally tastes the bitter blade of defeat in all of MSC. This is their first game loss.
No longer unstoppable.
Whew. D7 100% kill participation. I mean, there was an interview earlier on, and we were there. And I think that at least 3 of us, at least 4 of us actually mentioned D7.
Majority.
Yes.
Majority of us. And now he's proving, he just proved that it's not just about Natalia or Franco pocket picks. He plays a mean Kaja.
I think that it's not just CCAD, Donut, or D7. I think that even ATM himself has stepped up this entire series. And we are only looking at the past 2 games. What else is Burnix Flash going to show us? What other treats are they going to be giving us from now on?
You didn't even mention Chama. Chama was also integral to the way Burnix Flash took game number 2 in the fact that he had to reset, right?
Yep.
A lot of how game 1 went was on and off of how patient he was. But just the same, here all members of Burnix Flash were on point. Let's hear from Blacks International though. Now that they have first felt defeat, let's hear from the king of the jungle himself. Here's Wise.
Here we are with Wise's mom and sister. So Mommy Cherry and little sister Maria. Maria, how old is Maria, Mommy?
2 years old po.
2 years old. 2 years old. And they also said something, they mentioned something earlier that Maria has how many followers on TikTok?
I think 58,000.
58,000 followers on TikTok.
Wow. She is so gorgeous and glamorous.
Thank you.
Very cute. How is Wise as the kuya, the older brother?
Laging pinapaiyak si Maria.
Oh! Wise is always making her cry.
អូយបងប្រុសមែនប៉ុន្តែធ្វើឲ្យប្អូនយំរហូត
That's what brothers do. They make the younger ones cry.
Yeah. Now, I love to see you here, all your team and you, especially. I really want to know that, is that the first time you coming here to support the Wise, or you did it at the M3 and M4?
No, first time.
Oh,
First
this is the
time?
first time.
Yeah.
First time, what's so special about this time?
So-
Gusto kasi ni DJ yung makuha yung trophy ng
Oh.
MSC.
Wise, or they call him DJ, he really wants to get the MSC trophy. It's the only one that they don't have yet. So he wants his mom to be here when he gets it.
Wow ម៉ាក់គាត់បានប្រាប់ថានេះគឺជាលើកទី1ដែលគាត់បានមក support កូនប្រុសរបស់គាត់នៅក្នុងការប្រកួតមួយនេះហើយកូនប្រុសរបស់គាត់ចង់បាននៅពានរង្វាន់ក៏ដូចជា champion នៅក្នុងការប្រកួតនៅ Battle ក៏ដូចជាការប្រកួតទាំងមូលនេះផងដែរ So, I want to know that how do you feel when you see your sons fighting so hard on the stage? How do you feel?
I'm so nervous.
You're so nervous. Nothing to be nervous. គាត់ថាគាត់ពិតជាភ័យមែនតើក៏ដូចជាបុកពោះមែនតើសម្រាប់ការប្រកួតរបស់កូនគាត់មួយនេះផងដែរបាទ
It's a beautiful eyes, the beautiful eyes. Queen pose, queen pose. Let's see the queen pose, queen pose. Let's
She do the queen pose.
You can follow, you can, Maria Cutie, Maria Cutie.
So cute. Hey, once again, I really want to know that when you are staying here, do you think that is that any pressure for him when you see that there are a lot of people here, fans of Burnix Flash, and while Philippine here, just so little? How do you feel?
May pressure po ba kayo na ang dami pong mga fans ng Burnix Flash dito po sa laro natin? Kasi first time niyo po maglaro eh. First time niyo po makita si Wise maglaro. So, kinakabahan po ba kayo para sa kanya?
Sobra.
Sobra. Ano po yung reaction niyo na, yes, baby? Yes, wow! Ano po yung reaction nyo kanina na sumisigaw yung Burn X Flash fans kasi sa Pilipinas, sanay po kayo na mas marami yung blacklist. So, I'm asking, what's her reaction that there are a lot more Burn X Flash fans compared to when they were in the Philippines, that there's a lot of blacklist fans there?
Nakakakaba pala pag ang dami sumisigaw.
So it's more nerve-wracking when there's people screaming and lots of them.
អូខេគាត់ថាគាត់ពិតជាភ័យមែនទែនក៏ដូចជាព្រួយបារម្ភមែនទែនដោយសារតែយើងឃើញថាមាន Burn is Flash fan ច្រើនមែនទែនហើយជាពិសេសនៅពេលដែលគាត់ស្រែកធ្វើឲ្យគាត់កាន់តែភ័យកាន់តែខ្លាំងនៅក្នុងការប្រកួតមួយនេះផងដែរ Okay, so I want to know that this little cute girl, and I believe that Wise made her cry a lot. So how is the relationship between Wise and this little girl?
Close naman sila.
They're very close. And what is your message to Wise? He could hear you right now. He's in the players area. If you can say something to Wise and Venus, what would you like to tell them?
Be wise, galingan nyo, blacklist. Nandito lang kami, mga agents. Sana manalo tayo. I love you, kuya.
She's giving the message that good luck to V-Wise and the agents are just right here behind them and we hope that they win.
អូខេក្នុងនាមជាគាត់គឺជាអ្នក support ខ្លាំងមែនទែនគាត់បានជូនពរទៅដល់ខាងក្រុម blacklist សូមឲ្យសំណាងល្អក៏ដូចជាពួកគាត់ទាំងអស់គ្នាដែលជា Philippine fan គឺនៅគាំទ្រ blacklist នៅពីក្រោយផងដែរ Good luck
Now, Mommy, how about we get the entire blacklist fans behind you? You know the drill. When you say blacklist, they're going to say break the code. All right, everybody. Wise's mom is asking you to cheer for blacklist. Here we go.
Blacklist!
Break the code
One more time.
Blacklist!
Break the code
All right. Now we're giving you all the support. So now we're going to go back to the casters and see what they have to say. Casters, let's take us to see the world.
Family. Wise's family. Very important in the success that the King of the Jungle has experienced these past few years in his career in MLBB. They never let go. They never faltered.
Yeah.
And that's why he's performing at the peak of his career now as an athlete. And for the first time, if I'm not mistaken, he brought him out.
Yeah.
I don't think they were at M3 or at M4, and now so close to this last title to complete the crown.
Yep.
They just need a little bit more of a push. It's a 1-1 right now. Blacklist International has been reigning, and now the momentum is in favor of Blacklist
Burn.
momentum in favor of Burn X Flash. They have got home ground advantage, and Blacklist International, they're gonna have to find their way and wiggle it right in.
Not a lot of teams make the mistakes that Burn did in game number 2 and live to tell the tale about it up against Blacklist International. Usually you see one big blunder like that retribution.
And the
then
battle with Owl, yeah.
It's just a complete shift over. But the fact that Burn were able to stay put mentally shows how strong they are mentally.
Burn X Flash, you really felt like they were watching a lot of Blacklist International videos. They are prepared for them. I really like the fact that they took the route of the turn, right? It's turn, take, or trade when it comes to those neutral objectives. Typically, teams will just go to team fight against Blacklist International and try to take the objective and win the retro battle. Usually, people lose there, right? Teams will lose against Wise when it comes to a fair fight in the Lord Dance. But if you go for a turn where you go to heroes first, that is how you can win against Blacklist International.
I think that is the game that broke the Wise record, where he has got 100%
you're right.
total control.
That's right.
That means
turtle.
a lot.
Third turtle, I believe, yeah?
That's the third turtle.
Lot in general, he's got all the lots so far.
So that means in game 2 of this best of 5, so many records have been broken
Yes.
in MSC 2023. Blacklist first loss, Wise's first slip up as a jungler on the retry duels. What might happen next? And if anything, I'd like to point a counter argument here. Burn X Flash may have the momentum on paper. But what if this is what Blacklist needs to finally wake up? Because not to say that the other teams that Blacklist faced off against were weak, but this is the first time that they've actually had to show off more.
Wake up in the sense that teams are actually looking at them right now.
Gunning for them even.
Exactly. They Blacklist Burn X Dash, I mean, they knew how Blacklist operates. It really looked as if they were countering every single thing that Blacklist wanted to do. Sometimes they are unsuccessful. Most of the times they are. Blacklist, they just need to flip the switch and maybe just go for another segment of their programming, right? If this doesn't work, use the other one.
This is another thing that Blacklist International have got for against them. They played so much games, they have attended so many tournaments, and they have played so much in MPLPH. This is the perfect chance for BurnX Flash to learn as much as they can, break everything down, understand the game plan of Blacklist International, and beat them in this very series itself.
Gentlemen, going into Game 3 with the draft almost here, do we think Blacklist might want to go blue side? Do they want to go first pick? Will that change the dynamics of what lineups end up in the game?
I actually think they want to stay on red side. The fact that they have a first pick in the second phase and the last pick of the draft gives them a lot. That's how they were able to utilize that Novaria flex pick in game number 1, and that's how they were able to also kind of utilize the flex picks in game number 2 with the Valentina.
Well, I'd like to agree, but we'll see in just a few seconds if Master the Basics, if Dexstar are better prepared to play from red side, if they do favor those 2-pick swings and that last pick to close up that draft. Because, again, if you're looking at game 1, so much flex. Looking at game 2, it's still very comfortable. And, sometimes the meta game dictates where you should be playing. And here, this time around, Blacklist on the play.
This time Blacklist getting themselves first pick, and BurnX Flash understood that there could be a very high likelihood that they want to prioritize onto the Fredrin pick. And that is probably the main reason why Blacklist International wants to go for the first pick.
And then they just, BurnX Flash, they ban out Fredrin, understanding the situation that Fredrin is the hero of this matchup. Chima has to hold on to that, or maybe they have to deny that away from Wise. There is Novaria. Do you go Valentina here if you're BurnX Flash? The Kaja also look well. I think you go Joy Valentina if you're BurnX Flash in this particular game.
Joy Valentina. So far we've been seeing Joy just going out in the open, and both Blacklist International and BurnX Flash have played both of these. But they focused onto a Claude and a Yves pick.
I love it. Because it means that Blacklist International might be forced to go for, if they want to pick up the Valentina again, they will be forced to go for the Varia position 5 once again. So that will not be the best situation. Then again, for Blacklist, they can still go back to the Joy. I think the Joy is still good in this particular game going up against the Claude.
They're also trying to see if the Joy gets picked up by Edward, because Kaja is still up for grabs. It's something the BurnX Flash can utilize here in the final pick of the first phase to try to counter that. So it's all in Blacklist playground now. What do they want to go for?
I think the Joy Kaja seems solid. It protects the Joy. It gives the Novaria room to breathe. It can play in the mid lane. And instead, early Baksha.
Whoa!
Very early.
2021, hello?
Wow. Are we back to M1? M1 World... No, it was M1 World Championship. But anyways, kidding aside, this is very questionable. You do understand why they want to go for Joy plus Baksha, because you want to go in together. But Claude is not a hero that sits back. Leslie, I understand why they go for that. But Claude wants to go in with the team. So you just pick up the glue and you're okay. A-okay.
It worked for them. And they are willing to play that again.
You know why they did not pick up the Kaja this time? I think that they're eyeing for Natalia. BurnX Flash might go for the last pick Natalia. So Blacklist, you have to ban that out.
They have to.
Yeah, game number 1, that is what they did.
They already
went for the Natalia ban.
Yeah, you have to respect that.
You gotta.
If you're BurnX Flash, maybe you ban out perhaps Faramis? Faramis. I think you ban out Faramis here.
I can't believe Faramis was left open like this.
That's right.
Okay,
Beatrix. They still go for Beatrix.
It may be left open all the way to the end here. I mean,
would it really?
I think it's a bit too risky, but I think they want to just see what Blacklist want to go for first. What bans they want to go for here. It's also pretty good that BurnX Flash read out that Owl would go for the Beatrix, right? One of his signature picks, the only pick that he's really hit Beatrix and Brody actually.
Yeah.
It's definitely a telltale sign that Burnex Flash would very likely might not want to look at getting a Lolita for themselves either.
Yep.
Blacklist International, in this case, they have the Novaria. Novaria can go mid, can go roam. We've got the Joy, can go mid, can go EXP. So there is still quite a bit of flexibility in their name. So is Oh My Venus going to be picking up the Lolita for themselves, or are we looking at a Minotaur? Because this doesn't seem exactly too big of a all-in team fight composition from Blacklist International.
I think the Minotaur is still good in this particular game for Blacklist International. It will be banned out. Okay. So they will be forcing like a Lolita, perhaps.
Feramis still up.
They might take it actually.
Feramis.
For D7?
Or for
But they gotta watch out for the Melissa.
Is Melissa really gonna be a problem?
Melissa or Carrie, those are still out there.
Against Feramis, it is a big problem. But the thing is, they already have a pretty good matchup up against the Melissa in the Claude. Going for the Feramis is a bit too greedy, in my opinion. They really have a Eve, unless they want to go for, Feramis roam, I guess, for D7.
But they need kind of some sort of lockdown onto the Joy. With the ban on the Kaja, now they won't have as much. They do have the glue, though, so that could be the counter to this Joy. So they need kind of a way to defend now the Claude. Maybe they pick up the Lolita themselves, right? Or maybe a Grok.
What about a Minsathar?
A Minsathar. Actually, you're right.
We haven't seen a Minsathar in so long.
That's actually a good pick here for Burnex Flash, if ever.
They have the box. They will have the circle.
Martis first.
Do we have a triangle?
Yeah, no, they're in no rush to pick up a
go
roamer.
Valentina now, right? If you're Blacklist. Or Feramis.
Feramis and Lolita, both still up for grabs. I think Lolita is going to struggle a bit against a Martis and a Glue.
Feramis and perhaps something to deal with the Glue and the Mars. Maybe a Carry, actually. Carry and Feramis here for Blacklist International.
Or they could just go Brody, a good lane as well, up against the Claude. It's just really scary up against the Eve.
And the Glue.
And the Glue.
I know for a fact that Blacklist International love to get lane priorities. And right now, with Burnex Flash already picking up the Claude for themselves, I think Blacklist International needs to play a lot more of the support roam, whereby they can actually help the gold lane. So with that all said,
I forgot about, yes.
The outrange, right.
But then again, it kind of makes it so that the Lolita will even be a better pick for Blacklist International, for Burnex Flash, right? Deals well with the Varia, with Leslie.
Yes.
Decent to stun the Joy. You already have the Glue to kind of lock down the Joy anyways. You're not that required to go for a hard lockdown. There's also that argument that can be made for the Cho. The Way of the Dragon is really delivering the win for Burnex Flash.
Speaking of which, they don't really have a lot of lockdown, don't they?
They don't have lockdown. Not a lot, right? No reliable lockdown.
No answer for the Joy as well.
I think the Cho would be the best, I think. The Kufra works as well, technically, up against Valentina, but this is a big hit or miss. If they're not able to find the Leslie, or shut the Leslie down from the early game, which is already a tough task for the Claude to do.
I see the Kufra either working so well because maybe Oh My Venus doesn't spot out D7, given the Astral Echo, but look at how Blacklist has been working, even from a losing angle, even when they're behind. I'm pretty sure they know how to check their bushes, do their homework. You can hear the audience here in Aeon Mall 3, Mian Chai. The Cambodians know that if they do this right, if they take Game 3, Burnex Flash sits at match point, and I don't know what the agents are willing to do here. If they're able to match the energy that the Cambodians are presenting.
This is going to be the make it or break it game for Blacklist International. So much that they have to fight for. Will they be able to do it so in this game number 3 here into the land of Dawn? Burnex Flash, they are towering on against Blacklist.
Typically, we go for the Leslie. You want to go up against very tanky heroes. That's the idea. You want to chunk them down. This time, there's a lot of mobility on the side of Burnex Flash. With the Claude, you have the Eve that can also take out the Leslie if ever they find the opening. And they also have Kufra and Glue. So, good as it may for the Leslie. So much hype, for sure. But it doesn't mean that it's a sure win.
Fast clear. in the mid lane, instantly towards this bottom lane, wanting to put more pressure down to give Owl a better lane as D7 jumps in with Tyrant's Revenge. Able to some damage out onto Owl, but Venus does the same thing. It should actually be Vernix Flash with a victory. Almost a solo kill from D7. But he's going to be caught very low. He needs to be careful here as Venus goes for the Astral Sphere.
Nice.
Good dodge, good sidestep. The Cambodian crowd roars for it.
So now Blacklist International would have a little bit of priority down at the bottom. They did manage to poke D7 out of that fight. And they are definitely going to make full use of this opportunity since Kufra is all the way back home. Might want to shift things around. Seacat moved himself down to the southern side. They know that Owl is low in HP. Void Crystal tries to pick him off.
No flicker.
Nothing
Very
used.
expensive early on. D7's going to be spotted out though. Good shielding D. Good opening from Wise, but Owl's playing this wave very well. He wants to take it slow, but they decide to shove it back to Donut.
With the flicker already used up from the side of Owl, Burnex Flash very likely would want to make full use of these this opportunity for the next 120 seconds. This lane must be targeted. They must put more emphasis down the bottom lane. Since let's be honest here, it's a Joy versus Glue. Who's gonna die there?
Well, only the one who makes a mistake.
Only the one who makes a mistake. The marginal error, what we're looking for, and Edward, meantime.
Split already right now. Venus trying to go for the kill. Chama on the Martis. Still having pretty healthy health bar there. Seacat gonna get chunked, gonna get spotted out. Yue actually stole away the decimation. D7's looking for Tyrant's Revenge right now. He charges in onto Yue. Not quite finding him, but Yue does a lot of damage back. Wise, 1 level advantage, still having the Retribution as he picks up the purple buff. ATM has come back alive after recalling. Chama now going to be engaged on after real world manipulation in the back line as well. Onto Yue, forcing him out. Chama wins out the Retri battle. Wise now caught in the pickle as he's going to be stunned up, but Burnix Flash, no, they got the victory. They got the better trade. They do not need to go for more.
Oh, D7 really participating in the team fight so well. He sat back even when he was very low.
Revenge in the rage. Not sure if this is going to be enough to kill Edward, but now with the split, it definitely is enough. First blood to Burnix Flash.
First blood and a kill that take a turtle. Despite the fact that they don't have enough levels on the Chima, massive wins for Burnix Splash.
Just as I was talking about it, Glue versus Joy will die. But apparently I was very wrong. They still managed to get a kill down on Joy, and that is going to be a big thing. But at least we're talking about EXP lanes. That kind of gold deficit and EXP deficit is definitely going to come and equal it out eventually, unless the Joy really just couldn't get himself back on track.
Wow, who would have thought that it will be Burnix Flash to control this game? And well, I would say though, Blacklist International, the focus on the gold lane, that was well done. Donut is not having a good time. Donut is about 1.8k gold, while you can see that Leslie is already at 2.2k. So definitely, there's a massive lead.
Wow, good catch by D7.
That's blind!
Right as he walked on the wall, Venus gets caught, and Donut, he gets the assist. Now the lane as well. They're going to be clearing it out. They want to go for some more pressure here. And honestly, for Donut, as long as he doesn't die, it's going to be worth it for him.
Never mind what I said. They are helping Donut now.
They're helping Donut really well, but now D7 might actually be caught by Blacklist, but there's no kill pressure from Wise. That's the thing. On this box shot, you can roam around, you can put pressure down, but D7 just walks away out of it.
So eventually, I gotta have to look down on look at the D7, right? That blind Tyrant's Revenge. That set things up for the team. That's eventually gonna be helping Burnix Flash to get himself that part of the lead. We're looking at a 500, 600 goal difference. That is a steel leg plate that we are looking at.
ATM zoning in the back. Edward trying to do the same right now. D7 goes in for Tyrant's Revenge. Has the rage, and he locks him down. Come on, we'll lose out. How? Wise won the Retri. 50-50 goes to him. Now ATM is still in the back line of Blacklist International. D7 charging that revenge up, but only to disengage. Donut clears out the wave. A brilliant steal to ensure this mid-game safety for Blacklist.
Wise really salvaged his team because of that. They were able to win the turtle, so that means that they will get some part of the economy. The fact of the matter remains, though, Donut is now given the license to go for a double lane setup. He now takes up the top lane and the mid lane, as well as some part of the jungle. So Donut, whatever it is that happened in the early stages, it's now gone. He is now going to be at par. But the fact that there was a good head start for Owlet means that he will be getting the farm that he needs. Still, Burnix Flash will have their win conditions straightened out.
Remember, we have seen Owl getting, we have seen Donut getting the Blade of Despair plus the Berserker's Fury at 7 minutes into the game. So now the question is if whether Owl is able to keep up to that tempo and beat Donut in terms of timing. Because the 9 minutes mark is what we want to look out for. The 9 minutes mark is when Burn X Flash eventually activates themselves.
I don't know. I think it really depends on Donut, right? He has those item power spikes. Right now, he's on course for the DHS Golden Staff, but did he build boots, or is he greeting for just the Golden Staff again, similar to his Leslie game in game number 2?
This is probably just going to be a greedy game. Since
brown boots.
Donuts can't just really clear the way fast. He do have priority. Just go in, Blazing Duet, get out of there, and he will be able to find a lot more value in some other parts of the map. Speaking of some other parts of the map, Wise.
Sprint committed. Donut still able to actually. Wow, D7 on the back C-Cat with a kill. Donut! He survives! 1 HP! Venus Warren able to find the kill. And that's incredible value right as the Turtles pause for Burn X Flash.
Oh, two teams that's really playing it well. Wise, very commendable jump onto Wise because what he did was to cut off the double lane that Donut wanted to do. But then again, Donut was able to dodge the plate coming out from Wise. That's why he didn't die. And he survived through all my Venus. All the while, D7 found the opening on the Owl, opposing gold laner.
Little wins, it builds up. Wise. If he steals this,
no way!
Oh my! Drive-by! Steals it away!
Oh my god.
Absolutely disgusting. I always have thought that Blood Flash had that priority. I mean, he did. They were holding on to the turtle for so long.
What the heck?
This is on a different planet,
That was a drive-by, literally.
I can't
Hello,
believe
McDonald's,
it.
how can I help you?
I'm in disbelief that happened. Burn X Flash are already en route to control this game. Wise makes 2 good plays. Wasn't able to connect onto the kill of Donut, but he still managed to do the right call against Burn X Flash. Then he gets the turtle number 3. And now he's owning this part of the map as well. You're gonna have to really give big props to this guy, utilizing the backsha, all of the utilities that you have for the backsha to its full, full potential.
The timing was just bloody impeccable. Wise is so used to this. He's so immersed in the role of the jungle. And he knows how to be the king of the jungle. He's constantly getting all these retributions in. Game number 2, that was a fluke. Wise wants to show the world that Blacklist International, him himself, is still the king of the jungle regardless.
Holy moly, Donut's gonna be dove on now with Blazing Duet. Wise is gonna be locked down, but he's too tanky. He popped in the Turtles' Poisons earlier. Now D7 might just take all of it, all the damage. Real world manipulation as well. Owl dealing the damage onto the back line. Edward jumping in, finding the kill. D7's next on the chopping block as D7's still gonna be able to survive for a bit until Edward comes down for a double. Meanwhile, Chama in the back looking for the decimation as ATM helps him in his task for glory. One more shot for Chama. It's miscalculated, and Owl should be able to find the kill. Now it's a flicker from ATM to lock Owl down. Now the kite, ATM will not be able to escape right now as he pops in a split. A few more hits, and Edward finds his 3rd kill in this team fight. 2,000 gold lead instantly towards Blacklist.
So many clutch stuff that happened. Wise, for example, Donut was already almost getting out, but he had to cancel the recall. Now he gets hit by Wise. Wise then is getting killed, but there was an exchange for Blacklist. When Owl wanted to recall back, he was hit by the ultimate of Owl that canceled his recall, and he was taken out eventually by Edward. Edward, as well as Oh My Venus, just combining, and Owl, combining for that. But Yue with that Terrify, so that he was able to cancel the animation of ATM. ATM could not complete the stacks, so that he will be able to pop the grab on to Yue just because of one Terrify.
Another Terrify, this pure lockdown. D7 wants to look for a re-engage right now, but just pops the Tyrant's Revenge as US steals away the RWM. Now locked down, and C-Cat's RWM as his split comes down. He's looking for the mount, but he's not able to find it right now. Owl's free hitting, one more shot. Soaks it up with the split. In the back, finding the damage, but it's not enough to take anyone down. Edward was waiting on a battle mirror image. Blacklist have outsmarted Burn X Flash.
Yue and Oh My Venus were all so close. And this is probably one of the good things that we are looking at from the side of ATM. When he pops into split, no one can hit him as long as he's running backwards.
Oh my,
Chima.
Chima, you cannot enter here.
No way. Chima
Oh
is
my
gonna be
Venus
taken
dies.
out by
Oh.
Edward. Burning
How?
Splash. ATM was able to find it somehow, some way, but Wise now 100-0. Lord taken for Blacklist.
A very different kind of game from the side of Blacklist International now. This is very reminiscent to game number 1. But they are technically having a little bit better control as compared to before.
There has somebody has to step up for Blacklist International after that game 2 loss. And now Edward and Wise, they're really stepping up. Edward reading the map so well, knowing that Burning Flash eventually will utilize the strength of the Claude, waited for the right moment to strike and really shut down what Burning Flash wanted to do. And then there's Wise. All throughout this game, man, he's playing so well.
I think it really boils down to playing around the rotations of Edward. They're trying to unlock Edward and trying to make sure that Edward is constantly around the map and making full use of that lane priority. Shut the wave out as much as possible. Don't care about ATM. This glue is not worth your time. Focus your time somewhere else.
Lord's gonna be slain though. Blacklist unable to utilize this Lord to take a tier 2 up top, but they should be able to take this tier 1 in the mid lane unless, Burning Splash cleared it out. Burning Splash doing pretty good damage control right now as Blacklist are unable to siege on the turrets, but that wave crashes down top and bottom. Tier 2's falling.
I think that they more or less have been able to get the dividends out of that the first Lord. Most of the time when taking the first Lord, you'll want to bring down all of the outer turrets. But Burning Flash, they understood that they need the middle lane turrets. They need the first tier defense turrets as much as possible. Everyone was preparing themselves for a siege of that one.
Full commit onto Wise. But Edward's in the back right now. He's going to be able to buy some time. His down's going to be Owl once again. Free hitting in the back.
ATM.
That should be ATM down. Real world manipulation by Seacan. Not a good angle. And Donut to follow it up in the back. Zoning Venus away. You went finding the decimation. Chima does the same. Edward's next on the chopping block as Donut's going to be taken down to the bottom lane. And this is Chima versus Edward 1v1. Edward's winning it. There's no way for Chima to run. Edward has sustained and Yue has capitalized. A triple kill for what looked like Blacklist's demise.
Oh, Blacklist International did not panic. Surely there was a good jump coming up from D7, catching important heroes. Donut was taken out, but they remained composure. Oh my Venus, he tags Yue. He calls him, and then they went in for Donut instead. They let Chima get the kill onto Wise, then Edward buys enough time. Yue was able to get the kill onto Donut, eventually the triple kill. Really calm and composed, Blacklist International. Despite D7 having a good jump, they did not lose their composure.
I gotta have to say, D7, that jump was great. As you see, Turret's Revenge and Rage, but it kind of seems as though Donut's damage on the DPS is just not necessarily quite that. He was kind of like doing a drive-by as well.
Yep. Oh my Venus went out of the map to outplay Donut, and Donut was far too exposed. Edward had so much room to work with, so many units to utilize his dash, and of course, Martis at this point, it's not as strong anymore.
What do they do at this point? Up against an Owl who is scaled up against an Novaria with Impure Rage, Roamer that has so many resources. Chima, let's see if quality is better than quantity. Will he be able to win this one, the big one? ATM already forced to use the split as Owl tries to run him down. Shieldinity already jumping in. ATM very low, mounting Yue now. D7 in the back. Edward's forced to use the Vengeance early. Donut's forced to recall. Lord has been reset. Meanwhile, Yue chasing ATM down. How can he escape? The answer is he cannot.
He can't.
Yue finds the kill, and Blacklist International will get the Lord for free. Burning Splash, no resources to open this up.
The follow-up is now gone from the side of Burning Splash, and they have identified that they can't go with this fight. Even if D7 do find a couple, they do not have enough damage. They couldn't zone the most important players away, which is going to be Owl.
Chima as well now. Oh, a snipe from downtown from Venus.
That's a position 5, by the way. That's a roamer.
Painful things coming out from the side of Blacklist International. They understood that they're gonna have to poke their way in. They have a lot of high ground. Let's not forget about that. Yue can even take away the RWM. Even more ways where Burning Flash can't even get themselves out of it. Yes, we have D7 and Chima. They do have ways to eventually get themselves out of it without being immobilized. But the main thing is really just to expend all of these resources from the side of Burning Flash.
Speaking of RWM, I think that Burning Flash haven't utilized that real-world manipulation to its full potential. At the same time, it seems like they're not tactically using it. So they have to do a better job. Sikat is a good mid laner, right? So if you go back to whenever he is being the MVP for the team, you have to kind of unleash that kind of Sikat wherein they use the Nook mages tactically, strategically. Now they just pop in it just for the sake of utilizing it. That should not be happening for Burn X Flash. And Chima also needs to step up.
I like how Burn X Flash has already cleared the middle wave creeps. So the only thing that they need to focus on is the top and the bottom lane. But that is a lot of avenues that they're gonna have to cover, a lot of space that they have to close up on. Burn X Flash, they focus on the Lord, Blacklist International. They're not necessarily looking to wipe out the entire base of Burn X Flash. They want to play in the most disciplined way possible, and this is just pretty much part of their MO.
Yep. Battle of attrition for Blacklist International. They will always... Okay.
Force the flicker, but Zkat's taken low. Edwards jumping into the back line. Needs to be careful though. Often with the Chama zoning. Both teams disengaging. Chama's taken low though. That's a few good shots from Blacklist and Burn. And that's a valuable resource. Look at Burn X Flash. They did not burn a flicker, a sprint. Owl has no flicker. This is the time span. This is the golden opportunity for Burn.
And need defense. Twilight Armor picked up by Chama, but it's not going to be enough. When it comes to the gold lane, however, it's so difficult to be in the position of Donut. Do you go for a magic defense, like Athena Shield perhaps, or Radiant Armors or lesser, or maybe a Rose Gold Meteor? Or do you go back to the Wind of Nature? I guess if you're thinking about like the actual value of the team fight of Blacklist International, it's better to go for magic defense instead of the Wind of Nature. But that means that Owl might find an opening against him.
I think that right now, either one would really work. Because at this point in time, even when we are looking at fights, the main DPS from Donut is no longer from the Blazing Duet. Just standing down itself, just hunker down and really throw out all the basic attacks, that is going to threaten the front lines a lot. So I think that Burn X Flash, whatever they want to go for, the Athena Shield or perhaps the Wind of Nature, both of them is still applicable because we are still looking at good amount of damage from Edward, Yue, or Venus when it comes down to Athena Shield and one of the main damage dealers from Owl.
I don't think the Wind of Nature is applicable at all.
At all.
Like nothing. There's nothing to negate here for physical damage. It's true damage of magic coming down. It's ATM now. He's going to be caught. Passive damage plays onto him, but Wise is caught as well now in a mobility field. Donut with Athena Shield is zoning everyone away. You at? Wow! He finds his decimation very low now in the back. And Owl will wipe them all. 3 members down for Burn X Flash. A fight that looked good once again for BXF has turned on its back.
I absolutely, my mind slipped, and I thought that, wait, Blacklist International, when did they have God Martyrs? This decimate after decimate. It seems like we have seen this time and time again and before.
Let's see if they can defend this right now. Only a cannon minion, 2 cannon minions to be. Oh my god! Disgusting damage, and it should just be Blacklist International! Game number 3, match point for Blacklist.
The game for Burn X Flash to win. But unfortunately, it seems as though they managed to outplay Blacklist International in game number 2. But in game number 3, Blacklist International regained control. They got themselves right back over to the driver's seat and took control of this game right by Burn X Flash's neck.
Gentlemen, there were so many questions on the Baxia pick, why it was picked up after losing the game. Well, you saw that the early game was again because of Wise, but it wasn't just his effort that salvaged this series for the side of Blacklist International. D7 landed a good ultimate, they all regained composure. Yue now unleashed. In the last play, it was also Yue being the beast. Taking all of the damage coming out from Donut, regaining his composure, popping the Shadow Strike, then eventually the stolen Decimate. That was converted to magic damage, and with a lot of items of the Valentina, you really take out Marksman so easily.
This is a tough fight for Burn X Flash as we enter over to match point. They have done well so far. Blacklist International is still holding on to their guns. They have dropped the anchor and they refuse to budge.
What a series right now that we are seeing, that we are witnessing in day number 3 of the knockout stages. I can only hope for a full best of 5, but it looks
I
like
agree.
Blacklist have reclaimed momentum, and this is a scary Blacklist, a Blacklist that woke up, as Leo put it.
And did they not? But just the same, it was expected that Blacklist would wake up and play out of their minds. Wise with the back-to-back drive-by retribution steals made up for more than what we saw in the record-breaking performance in Game 2. But just the same, I don't know if you fellas agree. Did it seem like maybe this time in all 3 games so far in this best of 5, Burnix Flash may be out of sync? Is this
Yes.
the most out of sync we've ever seen Burnix Flash?
I agree.
In today's matchup.
Yeah, the fact that the drive-by happened, it was Wise. He was actually cosplaying Mirko because Mirko, very good at retribution with his drive-by.
Yes.
Yes, with your sports car. But you can see that Chima was not feeling it with the Martis. Additionally, Seacat's usage of the real-world manipulation was so questionable all throughout this game.
And it's in that mayhem, Edward's Joy just took advantage. Edward's Joy was everywhere. And when you see a team of very talented athletes scramble, Edward just has his way.
Yes.
Mr. the pot up.
Mr. DePato. A lot of people are saying, where is Edward in first 2 games? He was almost unnoticeable.
He's downloading.
He was downloading, but game number 3, hey, he was everywhere. Maybe in the heat map, all right, 5 to 10 minutes. This is where they were able to get control of the map back. He rotated up to the top to punish Donut, and then he kills Donut once again in the mid lane. So right after the laning stage, he already downloaded how ATM's glue operates. It's really, in game number 2, he tried to fight against glue head on, but this time he completely avoided the glue, only waiting for the right moment, also punishing the Martis. So not only did he make it so difficult for Donut to play in this game, he also shut down Chima eventually.
Edward, he understood that there's no point in finding the glue. His team needs him.
Yes.
And so far, throughout all of the games in Blacklist International, he have always been the pivotal player in team fights.
I think it wasn't just that they were playing out of sync. It was also the drafts that, in my opinion, was a little bit questionable, right? I mean, when you pick up the Claude in the first phase and then you let go of the Joy first pick over to the enemy team, you would expect maybe a Kaja, you would expect a Leslie ban, a Brody ban, a Carry ban, but they instead went for the Beatrix and the Minotaur. Funnily enough, I feel like the Minotaur wouldn't have given them that many problems. Remember, it's a Claude with good mobility, can escape, can bring Purify. It was a Yves with anti-CC, RWM built into his kit, and it was a Martis with a Mortal Coil. Not a lot of members on Burnix Flash could have actually been fully punished by the Minotaur. But yet they still let the Leslie go. They still, even though, Donut, he knows this matchup. He knows it is just horrible. Horrible for the Claude.
I'm thinking, what if they, instead of going for the Martis is understandable why they pick it up, but maybe what if they pick up the Bane instead, right? Because they were actually using it anyways. Going with the Eve, you have so much territorial control. Maybe the drive-by might not happen as much had it been that they picked up a different hero aside from the Martis. But it is what it is. Blacklist International, snagging this Leslie pick. Typically, it will not work against this kind of composition, but because of how freely he was able to hit against Burnix Flash, still A-okay in this game.
I mean, look at Owl, man. He saw Donut in game number 1. I mean, game number 2. He says, "I'll do you one better." 3 BODs. He's going for a third one. No way he goes melting.
Definitely gonna be a third BOT back then.
This is okay. So now we look at Burnix Flash, right? They pretty much have got everything that they want. Seacat throughout this entire game, he pretty much went for utility first, right? Just the typical side. He would want to get the slows down. He would want to avoid every form of movements up and forward. But unfortunately, we are looking at an Edward and a Wise, both of which have got great maneuver and got great mobility. And such, Yves RWM doesn't really always seem to be in the most prime position, and just doesn't seem to work out very well.
It's because the box setup by Burnix Flash isn't as threatening as it could be.
Right.
And now I'd like to bring back a concept that maybe Burnix Flash can use in Game 4 when we get there. The swimming pool.
The swimming
Wolf
pool.
knows the swimming pool.
Let's go!
I haven't seen a Martis struggle this hard in a while.
That's right.
And now you can see clearly in this 90-minute bout, a Martis does very little from a losing perspective. When you're on the back foot, Martis will do very little. He's a snowball type of hero. So now, What if this was the Bane? Let's think. What if it was the Bane? They would have so much better high ground defense, they would have better re-engage, and they would have access to the swimming pool.
Exactly. That's true. Eve plus the Bane, that would have been a perfect territorial control coming out from Burn X Flash, and we saw that they were successful with it. They utilized it against RSGSG. In fact, that was 2 days ago, and we were so impressed of that kind of strategy from Burn X Flash. Additionally, though, if they utilize a different hero aside from the Martis, which is not focused on kills, maybe they could have taken away the innate strength of the Baksha. Baksha was picked up second pick for Blacklist International. There's so many ways you can deal with it. Maybe they could have gone somewhere along the lines of maybe an Akai, maybe a Balmond even that Onyx utilized against them, right?
Yep. Just a better kit overall. Let's see how Burn X Flash responds and resets, but for now we'd like to remind everybody of the MSC support chest. It's available from the 5th of June up until the 18th when MSC ends. Spend only 20 diamonds and you may stand a chance to get an excellent skin, the Liam Ward, Triumph Eagle, and more. Up to 1,000 coins await you. So go ahead, purchase the MSC support chest and root for the MSC games now. Use the hashtags Mobile Legends Bang Bang, hashtag See the World, and hashtag MSC 2023. Just last night, as I was preparing to settle in and then get some rest, I bought a few support chests. I just wanted to see what was in it, and yes.
What'd you get? Did you get anything?
I got those tickets. I'm
Okay.
this much closer to getting the Jawhead skin. I don't have the Jawhead skin quite yet. When we come back from hearing from our hosts, we'll talk more about Burn X Flash and how they can reset, or maybe how Blacklist might just ride the waves on the way to the grand finals. Mara and Rabi, talk to us.
Here with the Cambodian representative, Mengli, also known as the Cambodian Kyrie.
Yeah, don't call me Megley, just call me Kylie.
Kyrie, you want to be Kylie? Okay, Kylie with the L.
Kylie. Yeah, Kylie, how do you feel when the battle after now the Blacklist got 2 and Cambodia teams got only 1? How do you feel about that?
Vậy các bạn ạ.
Yeah, sure.
Vậy tới vào tụi mẹ nhau mỏ nhâm ta tới chuyện miền Tây bọn vừa đã xa ta lỡ dương chìm chạp tía. Dương là biệt thay dương ở cái pi môn tới đập bay dương lên ở lọ mờ. Còn mà dương ta te lươn pe.
Okay.
I love the reaction. Tell me
Well,
what
you
it
know
means.
that he said that we are the host country, so we give them the chant first, and then we will buy them back.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, you saw what happened in game number 2. Owl took away Donut's signature hero, Leslie. What do you think about that? We're taking the heroes.
I don't think or it's nothing special because from the last game, Donut, his perform is pretty good. He's got 11 kills, but all just like another marksman. He just farm and deal damage, but not compared to Donut.
Oh, so he's just
Wow.
farming. Nothing compared to Donut in game 3. Okay, so earlier you were doing the Leslie pose. Can you do a Leslie impersonation with the voice?
For the voice line, one shot, one kill.
One
Nowhere
shot.
to run.
1 kill. Nowhere to run. Okay, pretend. Who is one player of Blacklist International that you want to use your shotgun to? And then just do it on the camera.
I think that's your idol. Oh my Venus.
Oh my Venus!
Oh my Venus!
Oh, but oh my Venus is just gonna heal herself.
Yep.
Okay.
Can you do her pause? It's like, what is Oh my Venus pause? Oh!
He's
I'm your
attempting
friend, I'm
to
your
take
friend.
the crown.
I'm your
oh,
friend.
they're friends.
Yeah, Meili ក៏ជា fan របស់ Oh my Venus ដែរហើយគាត់បាន
Yep.
ធ្វើ pause នោះគឺល្អមែនតើ cute មែនតើ
She got a lot of achievement. She pretty good in the
បាទ
Roma.
គឺ Oh my Venus បានទទួលបាននៅសមិទ្ធផលច្រើនមែនតើហើយសុទ្ធតែជាល្អអស្ចារ្យមកផងដែរ Okay, now I want to talk about Burnies Flash first. That who do you think is the 1 or 2 player that plays very well in Burnies Flash today and why?
This question is pretty easy one. First, Secret.
CCat
And then it's Donut.
Oh Donut អញ្ចឹងអ្នកដែលលេខ1និងលេខ2ដែលគាត់គិតថាល្អជាងគេគឺ CCat ជាមួយនឹង Donut
Now, Blacklist International is in the players' room right now. They have the speaker. They don't have their headset on. They can hear you. If you can brag about Burn X Flash and you want to talk to them directly, what do you want to say to them?
Say it.
I just want to say in Cambodian cake language អ្វីដែលខ្ញុំចង់ប្រាប់ទៅ Blacklist ថាឥឡូវយើងបាន2 game ហើយមិនចឹងប៉ុន្តែអីទេយើងមិនបាច់ set ទេបើសិនជាយើងចាញ់នៅក្នុងលទ្ធផល 3-2
Okay. This is what I
reaction.
want to say. He want to say to Blacklist that when those we got only one or you got another, we are not sad. This is a battle that will have a lose and win.
There they are.
Wait.
There they are right there.
One more thing
Okay.
ត្រៀមចិត្តឲ្យហើយបើសិនជាយើងចាញ់ទៅយកទៅបាក់ចិត្ត
Okay, when you are ready to think about win or lose, and then you will not be sad when the result released.
We will not be sad when the results are released.
Yeah.
Okay, they're right there right now. Send the message to them.
Hey
Right there.
guy Blacklist it's okay if you lose this game and another game it's okay if
It's okay.
everything is gonna be 3-2
Okay, it's gonna be
Oh
3 and
my
2.
God.
Okay, it's okay now. Now you know what? People are clapping right now. There's a lot of Blacklist fans over there. I
Yeah.
want to know if there are more Burn X Flash fans here. So how about let's pump them up? Cambodian Kyrie.
Is there any slogans?
ហ្គេមទី2ហើយនឹងហ្គេមទី4ហើយនឹងហ្គេមទី5ហើយនឹងហ្គេមរបស់យើងមិនចឹងចឹងគ្នាយើងស្គាល់ slogan របស់ Burn X Flash តើអូខេ1 2 3 If you play with fire If you play with fire
If you play with fire, you will burn.
burn.
We're gonna go back to our casters to take us and see the world.
With backup like that, it's almost certain that we might go 5 games. Welcome back. We have our players on the stands, on desk. You got your team once more. Leo at your service. Mirko, Abstract, and Wolf. Now, we were discussing what Burn X Flash could have picked better. How that lineup could have been better equipped to bounce back from the onslaught that Blacklist brought. Now, what might Game 4 look like?
I think in Game 3, right? I'm not sure what they'll go for in Game number 4. Firstly, we're going to have to see the side selection as well. But in Game number 3, we were talking a lot about the other other jungler options for Burn X Flash. Instead of the Martas, the Bane, we mentioned even... The Balmond, yeah. A few utility junglers, but I honestly feel like the Assassin would have been the best pick there. Up against a Novaria, up against a Leslie. Two very vulnerable targets in the back line. The only concern that I can see from Burn X Flash as to why they didn't go for the Assassin is the overwhelming power of that mid control from Blacklist with the double mage setup.
The double mage, the Varia, even from playing from a position 5 role, roam role, still outputs the damage. You saw that even Donut, right, from 100 to 50% just because of one Astral Recall. Wise, Oh My Venus, and Edward only lacks the MSC title in their career. It's always Cartesian Echo. That is on the other side of the bracket. Will it be the year for V-Wise? We'll know later on. I want a fearless forecast though. I think blue side for Burn X Flash, they still pick up the Fredrin.
They will. I believe that they will. And honestly, so far if Burn X Flash want to change things around, pick up an assassin jungler perhaps, I think that Blacklist International is more or less prepared for all of that, since they have met a fair share of assassin junglers, Fanny, even sometimes heck, even Hilda being picked up against them. I think that they have a very solid understanding as to how they will be able to fight against these. So as long as Burn X Flash is capable of getting themselves onto the blue side, and Blacklist International doesn't get the Fredrin banned out, Burn X Flash should be able to get their Fredrin, and they should be able to get the game rolling like how they managed to.
With that being said, it's not for a lack of knowledge. It's not for attempt to go in blind. I think both teams know exactly what they need to do.
Yeah.
For Blacklist to end right here, right now, send Burn X Flash down into the battle for 3rd and punch that ticket one more series closer to an MSC title, or for Burn X Flash to do the unthinkable, to upset the M3 World Champions, to go all the way 5 games. And I know they're just about to burn up again. We didn't see the 9-minute Burn X Flash timer. They didn't fire up in game 3.
Definitely not. It's like all of their fire was burned out in game number 2, the way that they won, and they had to like reignite the embers again. Come game number 3, they had to find the fuel because they really looked disconnected in that game. Games 1 and 2, they were so on point with the way that they are utilizing their spells. Sometimes it went badly in their favor because they were so much on point. But game number 3, they just didn't show up.
Well, going into the draft, we'll see. Are we reading the room correctly? Is Burn X Flash going to prioritize going blue? Is Fredrin that much of a threat? Indeed it is!
Oh!
Coach Mitch and Coach Skyzy want to get their hands on the appraiser himself. Estes, Diggy, and Joy taken out this time around. So,
I like this.
Just the same, Agent Zero is as big a threat as the Queen.
I super duper love this because typically you go Frederick, they allow Joy, then they pick up the glue. Eventually they found out, okay, we run away with the Joy pick in or Joy counter as the glue in the previous games. Might not happen once again. So I think Frederick as Burn X Flash hero.
Technically speaking, we have seen the pattern, right? It's just going to be back and forth, and the losers will take side. If Burn X Flash manages to win
Fredrin.
with this Fredrin pick, Blacklist International gets to choose in Game 5 that they want to be in the first pick.
Nova Val.
Nova Val, I think.
It should be. It should be.
Novaria for
Nova
sure.
and Val.
Valentina, maybe they third pick it and maybe pick up Arlet. So maybe Arlet, Novaria for Blacklist. But between those 3 heroes, there's really not much that they will change up.
Yep, and I think if I read the situation right, glue is also just as important for Burn X Flash. There's the Novaria.
There's Navarro.
Will they wait for the Val? Are they going to pull the trigger here?
Akai.
Akai.
Yep.
They want to immediately snag that Akai up before Burn X Flash eventually bans that out. They want to ensure that they still have that tough front line
That's
that
right.
Wise is used to.
I think you will still pick up. I think Valentina's value now is so much greater for Burn X Flash.
So much, yes.
You get the heavy spin. You counter the Wise's heavy spin with your own. That means that Chima on the Fredrin will have a free pass to those neutral objectives.
And let's not forget about the fact that if the Valentina is picked up by Burn X Flash, then the Astral Echo will help with the Appraiser's Wrath.
That's also
a
true.
small AoE to make it even more impactful.
Oh, immediately Natalia against the Novaria. And you know why they have the pass for this? Because they know that the backshot will not be picked up. Now, what do you pick for Oh My Venus in this scenario? You still have the Theramis to pick up. Leslie's not an option. Maybe you just go back to Beatrix here for Owl. Or maybe a Brody.
Is a safe pick. Brody as well, but do they want to just pick up a Rafaela? I don't think so. I don't think so in
That's
the
a
first
classic.
phase, but it could come out in the second phase, right? Because up against Natalia, once again, you can just open up the map freely on the Rafaela, providing support and good mobility to the team as well. Brody.
Brody. Honestly, Minotaur is not that much, not that bad of an option for Blacklist International, so that may be banned out as well from Burn X Flash. I don't know if is anybody else like picking up the Hylos and recently.
Nope.
I don't think
No.
so. Not for a long time. I would love to see Hylos, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
We've slowed down on debut picks.
Okay. All right. Very well. Thank you so much, Leo, for grounding us once again.
I want to see it. But just the same, when it's down the wire like this,
Yep.
I'm not so sure how willing Coach Mitch and Skyzy are.
Yep. You always look for vision if you're going up against Natalia. Novaria is there, but Novaria is an easy, it's food, I would say, for the Natalia.
Honestly, speaking about vision, I thought that they would have went for a Leslie since they want the vision. But either way, Shema on the home ground advantage. He says, yeah, I think the fans are like power for us to play here because this is our home. Just like the buff, they are the buff.
Yep. By the way, Farmis is still open for Blacklist International. Yes, that's open. Okay,
As a roamer.
As a roamer, that's
Or
right.
even as, you can switch it up even.
Yep. It's actually decent going up against Natalia because at least you have vision. And also because of the fact that when you pop your ultimate, then Natalia is going to be put in an awkward spot wherein he cannot burst down heroes.
Yep.
It's very important to cancel that combo from the Natalia, so that could be an option for Blacklist. They pick Lapu Lapu. Wow.
One of the comforts.
I thought that it will be Burn Explash eventually to take it out. This is a very smart move from Blacklist International. I love it.
It's a great pick here to deny a pick as well from the XP
Mm-hmm.
lane with the Arlet, Joy, Glue, banned
Oh,
away.
let's go Esmeralda, please. Burn Explash.
Esmeralda?
That's the way to go.
Brody, Navaria, and the Akai.
Akai.
They can or they can pivot.
I really can't imagine them going for the Esmeralda here.
What about a Uranus?
Uranus.
That's also good.
Or
yeah.
just a Yuzong to dive into the back, to dive into Navaria and Brody.
Find the Navaria, find the Brody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, again, Ripple mentioned yesterday the Brody's okay.
Yeah, bro, it's okay.
More or less of a follow-up, but do they need that follow-up from the side of Yuzong? The answer is yes for them. They want to pick that out.
Yep.
They've gone for the Claude as well for more of
Yeah.
that jump style. They are able to play for the team fight. They can go
Yep.
all the way to the back lines. They want to bring down Brody and the Navaria.
Jumpstyle is a Brazilian MLBB pro player. But yes, they want to dive in. This is a
Yep.
very dive-heavy comp coming
Yep.
in from Burnish Flash. But now, ball's in the other court.
Lolita, perhaps?
It's
What
up
about
to
Matilda?
Matilda in this game.
Matilda.
With the Akai as well?
Yep, there's a lot of vision. I do like it. I do like it. There's a lot of setup.
Actually, I do like it as well. Being
This-
able
this-
to guiding win yourself out of the out of the reach of the Natalia.
This could be a treat
Yeah.
coming in just to close up the series.
like
Another
that.
debut pick.
What? Okay, Kagura, Navaria.
Debut
is
pick
a
just
debut
as
pick.
well.
Yep.
Just as well. Wow, Omaivin is so comfortable on the Novaria in Rome this time. And yeah, you are going to be playing the Kagura.
Yep. It's a way for you to burst down the Natalia. It's a one-shot combo as well. And even if you get silenced, you just have to wait for a little bit. You retract your umbrella, you have shields, and then you pop your Yin Yang overturn, you're going to be A-okay.
Here we go, folks. One more game. And just as close as Blacklist is to that grand finals, the Cambodian crowd fires up even more. They know that dire straits are coming. They know that this is inevitable. They know that they're underdogs going up against the powerhouse that is Blacks International as we head into the Land of Dawn. Potentially the last game in this series. Potentially Burn X Flash's last chance to once more reset and make it to Game 5.
Is it a game 5? It'll all be decided here in the Land of Dawn for game number 4 between Burn X Flash versus Blacklist International. Who is in match point?
Mobile Legends.
Oh, okay. So if you look at Burn X Flash, for them to win it back, Chamastu set up, as well as CCAT, but D7, the power pick on the Natalia, first phase for Burn X Flash, is it enough?
So right off the bat, we're looking at Blacklist International with the mage heading down to the bottom lane. This is the initial rotation that we have seen, and this is what they would do in order to get all 4 of them level 4.
I'm sorry to nerd out here, but I was thinking that Natalia can do that. Look at the invade that he's doing. He's gonna disrupt Wise's jungle pattern.
His jungle pattern is mostly going down, going from the orange down to the purple. So this is mostly going down to the southern side. But once that is done, he will eventually make his way to the northern side, and that is where he will be able to get his level 4. Otherwise, he will need to wait a little bit more time before he can eventually get that.
So good. I mean, they did not pick the Natalia just for the sake of countering the Novaria. They actually have a plan against Blacklist.
I mean, they also found and knew that, yes, Wise is doing this from top to bottom, just from the single jungle creep that is available, that is closest to the first tier defense turret in the middle. All the information is out there.
No heavy spin anymore. But still no Petrify for ATM. Still, massive ultimate that's not available for Blacklist.
If Chama chooses a time to, pop off with his red tree, now is the best time to do so. Blacklist with match point, they need it. This is the last hope for the Cambodians.
It is all about disciplined play from the side of Blacklist International. It's either they would want to keep the Natalia in the main team fights and use Novaria as this bait, or do they just want to find a way to unlock Brody? That is the big question. In the meantime, ATM...
Well, Wise wins it in the 50-50. Chua is going to be bursted down, but a yin-yang overturn as well. ATM still surviving. Venus not able to connect right there. CCAT steals it with a heavy spin to disengage. D7 unable to find an opening in that skirmish.
First turtle going down to Blacklist International.
Oh my god. You see, Edward just knows his job so well. The reason why Wise was able to win the 50-50 is, without the heavy spin, is because of Edward. The stun connects. And he knows that Chima will eventually be showing himself. He didn't even have to use the flicker for that play. That is how good Edward was.
Let's see what they do here in the second minute of the game. What does Burnix Flash need to find at this point, at this stage, to turn it around? Because Blacklist, now with the Kagura, with a Brody, with a Lapu, the snowball potential is massive.
I really like to see this Lapu in the hands of Edward. So far, it was always just joy and trying to get himself the priority and such. But this time, with the Lapu, you're playing things a little bit safer. You're not trying to win in the lanes. You just want to play safe and eventually get to where you are. Especially since you're fighting against a Yuzhong here. Let's remember that.
Yin Yang overturn and the bravest fighter there. A few more hits under the turret, a clean dive from Blacklist International. Jamal looks for a trade, but is unable to find anything here. Uses the retribution. It's a slow. That is it.
No, it's not advisable for him to stay in here. They need to give the farm to Yu Zhang. And already Blacklist International are leading by 1,000 gold. That's all of those mini moves that Blacklist International have been able to do allows them to get a massive lead with just a 2-0. You see, Wise utilized the heavy spin just to take out and steal that orange buff. That was a massive play for Blacklist, and now they have so much of an opening in the early stages.
Also, how much of a lead does Edward have on top of ATM? Because I'm pretty sure that an entire creep wave is pretty much missed out from the side of ATM.
Yeah, maybe.
So it could pretty much translate to a single $600 item.
600 gold.
600 gold. Yes. Oh, really? 600 gold. Okay.
Oh, heavy spin responded over by heavy spin. Jamal walks up, but he still misses the retry. It's Wise who picks it up, staying composed as ever. ATM with a Black Dragon form, he shouldn't be able to do anything. Meanwhile, Owl picking up the turret plating in the bottom lane, getting so much gold for himself and snowballing, pushing it even further.
I don't know about this, but for the side of Burnix Flash, they have been reacting more than attacking.
Yeah. Oh, Wise is just so good at the jungle.
DMI gets him out. D7 with a few damage hits onto UF, but Wise will not be able to steal away the orange buff this time. Chima forced to retreat.
A lot of movements from the side of Blacklist International. They would want to even get themselves the proxy down to the southern side. They want to push this all the way through. Give Owl all of that gold. Give him all of the farm and just funnel everything else out.
Though.
It's unfortunate though, the Torn Apart memory didn't quite work out for them, but Wise
Pinned down. Yin Yang overturn from Yue to pick the kill up. Blacklist just rolling in this game. 2.6 thousand gold lead. No stopping Blacklist for now.
That's a free turret down in the bottom lane.
Yeah.
So it only makes sense for ATM to try to go for a counter. It wants to find a counter value all the way up to the top lane.
Wise is playing the side of the jungle that should belong to Burnix Flash.
It's like vertical jungling, isn't it?
Vertical jungling. Not even just vertical jungling. It's like literally just taking everything that he wanted.
It's a square jungle. He
It's a
takes the
square
whole
jungle. No, the entire jungle is just
entire
his.
jungle. It's just his map. Wise has just owned this game. And by the way, this is not the first time. I think all 4 games that we saw this game, Wise was just phenomenal. Even in the game that they lost, as the Baksha, he was 3-0-3 in the first 5 minutes. That's how active it was. And now he's 2-0 or 0-0-2. I mean, out of the 3 kills that they have in the first 6 minutes, leading by a lot when it comes to AXP. He's level 9 while Chima's level 8.
With the turtle spawned up, the entirety of Blacklist International wants to get themselves the turtle priority. They're hanging around the riverbed and they're just waiting for the perfect time. Opening up all these brushes. Oh my Venus, even with the Astro Echo. He did manage to find one, but Burnix Flash, it seems like they understood where they stand. They understood that they cannot possibly take this away from the hands of Wise. Otherwise, the gap widens.
3 turtles. The gap is as wide as it can be for Blacklist in the 7th minute of the game. Owl is also snowballed. D7's trying to get some vision here, but he's actually going to be read out by Venus. Some damage placed down, but D7 caught in a bad spot. Now Owl as well. This should just be a free kill over. There's nowhere to run. D7 has been taken out.
I don't know about this. This Natalia play is very different from what we have seen against the RSG. They haven't really been producing much results.
Yeah, well, this is because it was a third pick, Natalia, and all they had to do was to pick up Lapu Lapu. Lapu Lapu not gonna be concerned. Has a ton of armor or physical damage defense. You have the Brody that's unported by the Natalia.
Probably just tunnel vision onto just bringing Oh My Venus down. That's just how much respect that they have for Oh My Venus's the Novaria. To get it.
That's why I felt like the like ATM's Yuzhong might not be the case. Because the thing with Natalia, if you want to pick up the Natalia, somebody always has to stay in lane. Yuzhong don't want to do that. You want a team fight afterwards, right? You want to get a kill. You need something like a sustain. Like, yeah, Uranus, your Esmeralda, perhaps the Joy at a certain point. Heroes that stay in lane. So that everybody else will be busy. You'll have your shot at clearing out some, getting a pick-off, perhaps.
But D7 wanders around. He's trying to look for these small little opportunities that is presented to him. Now, even if they have the Natalia, they don't have the control of the river. He can kill, technically speaking, once he has got an item and once they have got return lead, right? They should be able to get himself the kill onto the Kagura, being one of the biggest problems in the team. Look at a Yin Yang overturn. What can he do to D7?
Well, he can burst him down. That's clear right now. Don't think D7 has enough resources to do anything against the back line of Blacklist International, but ATM very deep in enemy territory right now, using the Fierce Dive defensively, and he just practically isolates himself. The Petrify comes through. ATM doing some damage. CCat with a flicker in, but it's miscommunication. No one was there to follow it up. CCat burned his flicker for nothing. D7 is looking for a trade back, but Owl is already gone.
Isn't this exactly what Leo has said? Where we are expecting and we are seeing Burn X Flash starting to, get a little bit of a communication problem.
Finally.
There's one back. Burn are finally on the board. Chama looking for an opening here onto the Lord, but it does seems like Blacklist International should be able to take this for free. No contest whatsoever. Burn put their resources up top. Donut isn't even able to go for a trade. It's Blacklist with a free Lord.
Blacklist is just keeping to their code. They're just playing their average game. It's not as though they never lost a single game. Because that is a big thing. The fact that Blacklist International lost to Burn X Flash for game number 2, I would have thought that it would have affected them. But it didn't. They're still calm, they're still composed, and they're still disciplined.
Wise with a heavy spin, trying to buy some time or trying to open up some space. Owl, turn apart memory. Does it get him? No, Chama is able to escape. Barely, almost gets him.
Did Natalia get hit by the Astral Echo? No, he didn't. Utilize it. All the same, you can see Blacklist International just owning the map. Wise taking away the buff once again. Utilizing the Lord so that the lanes will naturally push. And then they will take out the mid lane turret. Gonna be moving into the middle. It's gonna be difficult for Burn X Flash to defend.
This is it feels very much of a front to back from the side of Burn X Flash, right? The way that they have played. They want to target over to the back lines, but in the meantime, they just doesn't seem like they have the confidence to do so. They probably understood that if they were to jump into the back lines, the entirety of Blacklist just crumbles and collapses on them. But shouldn't that be the value that we should be looking out for? Try to find a couple of traits like between ATM for someone else. That's the death should make sense.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they decided to go for this Yuzhong and they haven't been utilizing it like what they did in game number 3, where the real world manipulation just doesn't really connect to benefit the Burn X Flash members. This time, they're not team fighting.
They're losing the steam.
Yeah.
It's like they're running out of charcoal or coal, rather.
For sure.
And it's just not pumping.
Well, didn't spot D7 there, but finally does now. Skill 2 in front. First skill, that's the ultimate. Smoke screen for D7. Wise comes down. Gets him. CCat isn't in time. Yang overturn. Barely connects. Venus almost just took CCat down.
Absolutely uncharacteristic to see a marksman chasing after an assassin.
ATM now with a Black Dragon form. Owl within the nature with a wind chant. Pop able to escape. No heavy spin this time for Blacklist International as Donut is still clearing it out in the mid lane.
And
we still have 30 seconds left until the Lord comes out.
Yeah, but then again, there's really no team fight for the side of Burn X Flash.
I mean, we're looking at a 6,000 goal lead in favor of Blacklist International. What kind of possibility can Burn X Flash look out for? Because they do have Natalia. They
Yep.
can find trades.
Maybe, but they will have to wait for Donut to reach maximum items. I don't think if you place this correctly, he will not be bursted out by the. By this Yin Yang overturn perhaps, or maybe by Owl. Then rely on D7. At this point, ATM is just a starter for team fights. He's not gonna be able to find the opening in the backlines.
I understand that they would want to extend this game for a little while longer in order for Donut to eventually get to the power of spike
That's
that they
the
want.
only option here.
And D7 can eventually get there as well, because once the D7 has got the item that you want, Owl is more or less dead. It's actually not just Owl. Oh, my Venus will be dead, Yue will be dead, but X Flash would have a 1-for-1 trade no matter how it is going to be like.
But as it stands, they cannot team fight at all.
They can't, yeah, they can't. So in the mid stages of the game, that is the missing link that we're looking at, isn't it?
Perhaps, yes.
Oh, Raven Spider, D7's gonna be caught in the stun as well with a flicker. Solo kill from Agent Zero.
You can't do that against Lapo. Natalia versus Lapo, that's gonna spell doom. So much armor, so much physical defense. And really no way for Natalia to win against
Donut's gonna be shut down! US with the Yin Yang overturn.
Let's not forget the Astral Echo. The debuff was on him as well. Alright? The Yin Yang overturn damage was insane, but the question is, what was he doing there?
Oh, I don't know how to answer that, because now they will suffer from that kind of pickoff. 14 minutes, might lose an inhibitor because of this.
A 10,000 gold lead for Blacklist International. They're marching down, sieging the base, not giving any mercy. ACM with a furious dive. Bedford can be able to cancel it out. With the Raven Spider, anti-CC. Venus is looking for the Astral Sphere, but they will just utilize the Enhanced Lord still in that top lane. Gonna be crashing down. Chuma isolated from the team, now brought back with a heavy spin. D7 in the back line, trying to dive, but it's gonna be Yue! Again! Able to lock him down! Donut with a blazing duet in desperation, but ATM will fall to Agent Zero. Lord on the base. Burn X Flash falling one by one. The embers and the flames have been extinguished. Blacklist International have knocked the Cambodians out.
The first team that has made their way up and climbing it all through to the grand finals. Blacklist International. Ladies and gentlemen, bear witness.
Another grand finals for the VY stand. And the entirety of Blacklist International, and they did it in style. Burn X Flash. Very well done in the first two games of this series. You thought that they would win game number 1. They won game number 2. But 3 and 4, the fire has been put out by Blacklist International.
Manjeezy in the building, showing his love and support for Blacklist International. And man, what a series. Burn gave it their all, but Blacklist still too strong to overcome.
It is really unfortunate. The hopes for the side of Burn X Flash was dashed. And I am just heartbroken for them. But we'll take a look at the interview. Let's go on.
Hey, ho, I Blacklist! Boy, bow! Wow! នេះគឺជា battle ដែលខ្លាំងក្លាមែនទែនយើងឃើញថា Burn X Flash ទទួលបាននៅមួយពិន្ទុប៉ុន្តែចុងក្រោយគឺ Blacklist ត្រូវបានយកឈ្នះទៅលើការប្រកួតមួយនេះផងដែរអញ្ចឹងហើយនេះពិតជាការប្រកួតស៊ីសាច់ហត់ឈាមដ៏ខ្លាំងក្លាមែនទែនសូមហៅឲ្យ Blacklist មួយទៀតបាទ Wow យើងឃើញថា Burn X Flash របស់យើងក៏មិនអត់ដែរប៉ុន្តែចុងក្រោយទោះបីជាមិនទទួលបានជ័យជំនះនៅក្នុងការប្រកួតមួយនេះក៏ដោយក៏យើងបានខំប្រឹងអស់ពីសមត្ថភាពរបស់ Burn X Flash របស់យើងដែលជាម្ចាស់ផ្ទះផងដែរបាទឥឡូវនេះយើងចង់ដឹងថាតើ Blacklist ដែលគាត់ជាអ្នកទទួលបានជ័យជំនះនៅក្នុងការប្រកួតមួយនេះតើគាត់មានអារម្មណ៍យ៉ាងណា Okay now I'm gonna pass it to Mara on the stage
Congratulations to Blacklist International! Everybody, once again, Blacklist and they keep on breaking the code. Wise, galing, congratulations. You guys are going to the grand finals. How does that feel?
Para sa akin masaya kasi mindset ko this tournament pangatlo lang kami sa malakas eh. So para sa akin swerte na nasa grand finals ulit kami.
He feels like he's very lucky because his mindset is in the tournament. So he feels super lucky that once again they go to the grand finals.
អូខេគាត់ពិតជាគិតថាគាត់ពិតជាសំណាងមែនទែននៅក្នុងការដែលគាត់អាចចូលទៅកាន់ Grand Final បានបាទ
Wise, your mom is here. For the first time, she's watching a tournament. She mentioned earlier that she doesn't go to the regular season because she gets really nervous. And she flew all the way here with your baby sister, Maria. For sure, your mom is emotional right now. What do you want to say to Mommy Cherry?
Mas nakakaba bukas kasi ano na yun eh, parang final boss na eh.
So he's more nervous for tomorrow because tomorrow is like facing the final boss. What do you have to say to your mom's support?
Yun, thank you so much ma and I love you.
អូយើងឃើញហើយអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នានៅពេលដែល Black League ទទួលបានជ័យជំនះគាត់នឹងជួបជាមួយនឹងក្រុមដែលខ្លាំងមែនទែនដែលមានដូចជា Onyx ក៏ដូចជា Philippines របស់គាត់ផ្ទាល់តែម្ដងគឺ Echo អញ្ចឹងហើយតើគាត់កាន់តែមានអារម្មណ៍ថាក្តុកក្តួលហើយការសងសឹកនឹងចាប់ផ្ដើមនៅពេលថ្ងៃស្អែកនេះផងដែរគាត់អរគុណទៅដល់ fan របស់ Philippines ក៏ដូចជាម៉ាក់គាត់ដែលបានមកគាំទ្រគាត់តាំងពី Philippines មកដល់កម្ពុជាផងដែរបាទ Okay, so my question is that how do you think and is there any opinion about the Burn is Flash because Burn is Flash at least win one battle and how do you think about it and what is the stylish and strategy of it? How do you think about the Burn is Flash? Is there any opinion about them?
Yeah, they are really good and I think this is the best form of Burn X Splash and I think if they continue, we will see them at M5.
Wow គាត់ថា Burn is Flash របស់យើងបានរីកចម្រើនខ្លាំងមែនទែនហើយក៏ជាដៃគូមួយដែលខ្លាំងផងដែរបើសិនជា Burn is Flash របស់យើងខំប្រឹងកាន់តែខ្លាំងជាងនេះទៀតគាត់នឹងជួបជាមួយនឹង Burn is Flash នៅក្នុង M5 ផងដែរនៅប្រទេស Philippines Manila.
And this question now is for Venus. V, you're always impressing us. It's the first time that we got to see Navaria as roamer for MSC. Other people used Navaria before and actually Burn X Flash picked Natalia to counter that. But you were able to make it successful. What is it about the things that you do that no matter what heroes you pick, you were able to make it work like Navaria as roamer?
Ang ganda kasi niya eh. Ang lakas niya maka-bardic and sobrang nagustuhan ko talaga yung ano niya, yung itsura niya, at the same time yung playstyle niya.
So Navaria is really beautiful and Venus liked the look and also the play style of Navaria. Oh, a lot of people are going to be using Navaria in the rank for sure.
Okay, ដោយសារថា Oh My Witness គាត់បាន pick Navaria Navaria as a roamer and គាត់ថាគាត់ hero មួយហ្នឹងគឺពិតជាស្រស់ស្អាតមែនទែនហើយមិនថា hero ណាទេឲ្យតែ Oh My Witness គាត់បានយកមកគឺគាត់ kill បានទាំងអស់តែម្ដងនេះពិតជាអស្ចារ្យមែនទែនបាទ
Now Yue, I don't know if you heard the crowd earlier. After game number 1 and then game number 3, they said you were a beast. Halimaw, kumbaga. Even when the opponent was using glue, usually glues are very tanky, but when you use your Valentina, you really made it work. What is it about you that you're not getting nervous in the international stage and you're really shining for Blacklist International?
Nilalaro ko lang dapat yung dapat kong laruin tsaka binibigay ko yung best ko sa every game namin.
He's just playing his best and giving it his all for all the games that he's putting in.
Okay មិនថាធ្វើយ៉ាងណាទេគ្រាន់តែលេងឲ្យអស់ពីលទ្ធភាពដែលអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាអាចធ្វើទៅបាននេះហើយគឺជាការលេងមួយដែលល្អបំផុតហើយអាចទទួលបាននូវជ័យជំនះផងដែរបាទ
All right, here we go. This is the question. Tomorrow, you will figure out if it's going to be Echo or Onyx. We want to know who you want to match up against.
If,
Who does Blacklist pick?
if you have a choice
Al, Edward, you can take the mic, or Venus?
can it be Philippine versus Philippine
Kahit sino na sa kanila, kasi katulad nga ng sinabi ni Wise, sila yung better team kumpara sa amin. And I think mag-agree naman yung lahat. So, ready na kaming madurog sa finals. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Venus is saying that either one of them they're fine with because Venus thinks that they're a better team. Those two are better than Blacklist International. So whoever they'll meet in the grand finals, they're really happy with. Wow, thank you, Venus. And now once again,
បាទយើងឃើញថាទោះបីជាគាត់បានជួបជាមួយនឹង Onyx ក៏ដូចជា Philippines របស់គាត់ផ្ទាល់ក៏ដោយគឺ Echo គាត់ថាមិនថាអ្នកណាមួយគឺសិតតែខ្លាំងដូចគ្នាហើយគាត់នឹងខំព្យាយាមឲ្យអស់ពីលទ្ធភាពនៅក្នុងការទទួលបានជ័យជំនះនៅក្នុងថ្ងៃស្អែកផងដែរបាទ
who do you guys think the MVP is? Make some noise. MVP of the game is... Now let's take a look. Most valuable player is... Oh my Venus! Oh my Venus, you're shaking your head. Why? Why? What's going on?
For me, I think mas maganda yung naging performance sa mga teammates ko compared sa akin.
Venus thinks that the performance of his teammates is much better than what he did.
អូគាត់ថា teammate របស់គាត់គឺក្រុមរបស់គាត់បានធ្វើល្អជាងអ្វីដែលគាត់បានធ្វើទៀតមិនមែនដោយសារតែគាត់មួយទេបាទ
Okay, now, you said the teammates performed better. If you were to praise a player right now, who would that be and why? Who do you think deserves the MVP?
All of them.
All of them?
Yeah.
You can pick one player, just one.
No, all of them.
All of them.
ទាំងអស់តែម្ដងមិនអាចជ្រើសរើសយកអ្នកណាមួយខ្វះអ្នកណាមួយបានទេបាទ
What a true team captain. Once again, everybody, Blacklist! Blacklist! Congratulations, Blacklist International! They're heading to the grand final, so we're gonna break that down for you and head back to the casters. Let's see the world.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, after such a tight series, we're gonna have to bring Leo into this.
Thank you so much. I would love to be part of this. Now, giving over our MVP not just for this game, but also for the series.
Okay.
Oh my Venus, almost single-handedly for making Novaria Rome a thing.
Yes. Well, number one, he went for the bottom lane rotation first. So they really just destroyed Donut's lane. And then he was able to connect onto many Astros Wiz and the ultimate. And the fact that he applies she applies vision to his teammates so much in this particular game. 1-0 and 5. Although my personal bet for the MVP of the series will be Wise. I think that Oh My Venus's contributions in game number 1 and 2 was so critical for the recovery of Blacklist International.
I think throughout the game, the main focus that they would want to have is to get to make sure that Novaria moves around freely. D7 even picked up the Natalia, but yet there wasn't even once that D7 has managed to get a kill down onto Novaria. In fact, the only one kill that D7 had was onto Yue. So that is a lot that Blacklist International did for their team. They same thing, same MO. They played together as a unit. And it's tough to break through that kind of walls that they've built.
I think the problem as well with the Natalia is the fact that